What's happening, gang? How is everyone doing today? Everyone good? Hopefully we are good. On the screen is breakfast. So I had some multi-grain bread, so I made a little toast with that. I wilted some spinach with a little bit of garlic and olive oil and placed that on top of the toast. I air fried a little prosciutto. So you have 2 pieces of prosciutto on top of each slice, and we poached a couple eggs, and I made a curried hollandaise. Hollandaise is a little bland, so I spiced it up a little bit. Served that with a little bit of sausage and a few more of those strawberry tomatoes that I just seem to have an endless abundance of, and you end up with breakfast. Who doesn't love breakfast? Everyone loves breakfast. It's what we're known for. But I also made, I'm going to flash this up here real quick, because although we like to start with breakfast, we did make a giant steak the other day as well. Hold on, let me grab that for you. We did a little lucha surf and turf. So we did a fillet and scallops with some mushrooms and asparagus. A little bit of a balsamic glaze on the asparagus. And we cooked that using we pan-seared that and buttered it, scooped the butter on top, and finished it in the oven for 10 minutes. Let the internals cook without completely frying off the top and the bottom of the steaks. And it was delicious, I must say. It was delicious. It came out really well. Actually, came out very medium. It was pink in the middle. It wasn't, I probably overcooked it a tad. But my mother had come over, and so I made dinner for her, and she likes her steaks a little bit. She likes medium, so we just went with medium. I didn't bother taking mine out in front, and so I went with the USDA Prime steaks. It was like butter, even at medium. It was delicious. What do we got in the chat? We got JD MTL reminding everyone to upvote the stream. We've got Luchabetic Mark reminding everyone to click that link at the top of the chat and donate to my step out walk to support the American Diabetes Association and get some kids to diabetes camp. Very important. We've got BW. Good morning, BW. How are you, sir? My favorite watch collections. BW certainly has one of my favorite watch collections because it's not all hype, and there's some like really cool, interesting stuff in there. I like that. I like interesting stuff. We've got Tan Patel Philippe. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Always good to see Tan in the chat. Always good to see Otto. I haven't seen Otto in a while. How are you, sir? Johnny O. And Elmo. Good morning. I am well. I'm doing well. We got Jean-Claude Beaver. Hey, Mark. Hey, fellas. Good to see you guys. Only got 16 people in the room. Hopefully we got a bunch of votes. That always makes it worth doing. And then we need to decide, are we going to keep on keeping on? Because like I said a couple weeks ago, I sort of got catfished into doing a, coming out of retirement, if you will, to do some streams. And so I signed up, I re-engaged my StreamYard for a month to do that, and those guys left. I'll apologize for last week. Evidently, 2 things you're not allowed to do on YouTube, as I learned with my little chat with the YouTube people. Flashing a gun, they don't appreciate. But what they really hate, this I found interesting, the speed loader. They really hated the speed loader. So we won't be doing that anymore. What are you going to do? In fact, I think the only weapon I have here on the table today is my box opening knife. So there you go. We won't be having any more of that sort of thing. Orko in the house. Good to see Orko. How are you, sir? So yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff on the live streams. Evidently, you can record those things. I was like, well, I watch videos all the time of people, not only showing guns but showing how they shoot. They're like, nah, don't do that on a live stream. So live and learn. Live and learn. They took that down. They chopped the channel for a day or so. So if you didn't see me on there for a little bit, then I had to kind of rebuild it again, which was a pain in the butt. But we are back and we are up and running. I did, however, get it all set back up. So we should be good there. If you guys are good with sticking around, let me know. We'll go from there going forward. There is a chat, or there is a poll in the chat, asking simply which budget GMT, entry level GMT, do you think is the best? Let's see where we're at so far. We've got 11 votes in, 36% for the Longines Spirit Zulu time. 55% for the Tudor Black Bay GMT, and 0% for the Mito Ocean Star GMT, which might be the best looking of the four, and 9% for the Baltic Aqua Scout GMT. So we're going to go over some GMT watches and stuff today. We're going to do a lot of stuff today, depending on where the chat takes us. You guys let me know what you would like to talk about. Mark, what does this watch say about you? Explorer 40. Unpretentious. You like quality. You like the Rolex name. You like having the name, but you don't want it to be too flashy. I love that watch. I think the Explorer, we're going to pull one of those up and look at it, because I know BW's in the chat. I know he has one. I just think that it's a very iconic looking watch, if you will. Let's pull one up. There it is. Share this tab. I just think that this watch is gorgeous. What do you? Yeah, BW says he loves his. It's a good looking watch. It's very subtle. It's a subtle Rolex, if you could imagine that there is such a thing. It's good looking piece. It has a little bit of gravitas to it, but it's not like really in your face. Yes, because Jean-Claude Biver. Who doesn't love the missionaries? BW sent you a pic. Where'd you send it to, BW? I can't pull up the one on my computer since I had retired. I can only pull up the Luchabetic mark on the computer. So those are there. Okay, send it through the email. Let me go pull that up. Switch up of that email account. Let's try. Wait, someone named Roland's Jewelers wants me to subscribe. Maybe I did. Maybe I hit something that subscribed me. Which email did you send it to, BW? To luchavedic@gmail.com? I don't see it. Interesting. Didn't go to spam. BW shouldn't be in spam. You know who is in my spam? Alpha Crown. Oh, there you go. Boom. You sent it to the other IG. So yeah, the other IG is the one I can't pull up on the computer right now, and I have failed you in not really exploring why that is. It was just a thing when I canceled that. I not canceled the account, but I had archived that account. That it didn't pull everything back over, and it won't go back into the computer. But if you send it to luchabedic@gmail.com, I should be able to get it. But the Explorer 40 is a great watch, an absolute classic. Love it. KD Montreal. How are things in Montreal? I think the Penguins made a swap with Winnipeg. I don't know if Kyle D, he may not be awake yet when he thinks of that, but it looks like that youngster that they had didn't want to sign with them. So the Penguins traded their number one pick for McGrody, I think his name was. I don't know. Playing at Michigan. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Let's see. It looks like I might have a new email. Look at that. Let's share this down. Oh, such a good looking watch, BW. This is BW's Explorer 40. Look at that thing. It's a beautiful watch. Tam, how do you feel about this watch? You're kind of a, you do, I mean, you have like exotic cars and some exotic watches, but I think that secretly you have like a love for some of the simplicity as well in the watch world. I just think that's a banger looking of a watch. That 369 is just classic looking. It's like I said, it's an unpretentious Rolex if there is such a thing. I believe that this watch and the Explorer 2 sort of still represent that tool watch, collection. I don't think. I mean, the GMTs, the subs, everything else has gotten so fancy and ceramic and this and that I don't believe that they really go with the tool watch vibe. They've become more than that. Let's see. Tan says I like the Explorer 40, nice piece. Prefer the Explorer on the top as opposed to the bottom on the 39. I go back and forth on that. I do go back and forth on that. See, when I see it on BW's, sometimes when you see the stills and stuff, it looks a little cramped at the top. When I see this picture of BW's with it actually on his wrist, it doesn't look as all crammed together as it does on some of the pictures I've seen of it. But I agree. Normally, it's a little bit smaller of a watch. Because really, that watch is like 39 millimeters. It's really not a 40, true 40. But the 40 also, the one thing I liked about the 40, aside from the Explorer on top, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I like the 21 millimeter lugs because I think it makes the watch wear a tad bit bigger and it looks a little more complete to me with the 21 millimeter lugs versus the 20s on the 39. Anti-hype. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You should do a deep dive into the history of the Explorer. Pretty fascinating stuff. Not conventional, I would say, to the other lineups. I agree. I agree. We would have to see if we can lure Bear Clooney over, because I believe doesn't he have an extensive knowledge? Or if you could help, I would need some help. I'm not afraid to say when I need some help with something. You can't always do it alone. I tell my salespeople all that all the time, because my role at the dealership is the sales manager. But one of the biggest things that I do, aside from like managerial type stuff, it's like scheduling, training, all that kind of background stuff, is that I am the TO guy. So TO stands for not Terrell Owens. No, before Terrell Owens even. Turnover. So what's turnover? Turnover means that the salesperson has not been able to close the deal. So the closer that comes in, it's turned over to the manager. And that's a lot of what I do at the dealership. I walk out and start chatting with people. So whereas the salesman might have a half hour to an hour to get to know somebody and be showing them a product, building a relationship with them, I got about 45 seconds to make a nice first impression and get into the close. So, but it's what I do. It's what I love. I love what I do for work, which is fun. That's a good thing. 440 exactly that. Classic, simple. The wife loves hers, but I like it more. It is great. BW says the wider lugs fit. Yeah, the wider lugs, I think I tried on a 39. I've tried on a few 40s, and the 40, I like the fit better. And it doesn't seem like it should make that big of a difference, but that extra millimeter in the lugs really does make the watch fit my wrist better. Now, again, I have 7.5-inch wrists. So, I prefer something a little bit bigger. But that watch I've always just thought was just a classic. Always be closing. Coffee is for closers. That's why I'm always drinking coffee. The last couple of years, I've gotten on this kick. There, work out here. I'll make myself big. I've gotten on this kick of the Trenta cold brew with no ice. So why no ice? Because I can sip on this thing for a few hours and it doesn't get watered down. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. Oh, also, might as well do a little wrist check today. Speaking of bigger watches, I am wearing my 42 millimeter, 42 by 50 Omega Seamaster 300M, the professional series. And I had a few weeks ago put it back on the factory bracelet, mainly because it has some micro adjust in it, and it's been hot, summery, and it just fits well, looks good. I know a lot of people don't like the bracelet. I don't mind it, again, but I have bigger wrists, so it's a little bit easier for me to wear. Sergio, hot take. Oh, this is a hot take too. The Explorer has to be a 36. No, I don't agree with that, because the 36 just disappears on my wrist. I would not be an Explorer customer at 36. But the two-tone version, I agree, is sacrilegious. And if you want a big Rolex, get the Explorer 2 instead. I just like the dial of the Explorer 1 better than the Explorer 2. I like the plain bezel better. If I have numbers on my bezel, I want it to rotate. It's always been my issue with the Explorer 2. So I guess that's where I stand on it. I agree with the two-tone version, though. I don't think that's not very tool watchy at all. Do you love the dubious history of the Explorer's claim to ascending Everest in connection with the Hillary Norgoy? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. because it really wasn't the Explorer, but they marketed the Explorer as it. And really, wasn't the Smiths the one that they were wearing? Not that I'm going to run out and buy a Smiths, but it's a cool looking watch too, but very similar. But it doesn't have the gravitas of a Rolex. It doesn't have the name recognition. And as watch collectors, let's admit it. All right, we're going to take a second to admit something here. We like when people know a little bit about what we're wearing. You know what I'm saying? It makes us happy. That's part of why we do it. If somebody recognizes your watch or compliments you on your watch, it makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Dear Artifact is in the house. How is Dear Artifact? Please always, as always, give your best to your father. Father Artifact. The Artifacts, two of the great collection, a great collecting family. I love, love, love how watches and timepieces help them maintain their connection, you know, as they get older and move on through their lives and stuff. I think that's cool. I think it's cool that they do a lot of that stuff together and are into it in similar ways. It's good. He says that the Explorer is bifurcated between two sizes now. Makes total sense. I want them to do the same with the sub. Keep the 41, but introduce a 37 millimeter Submariner for all the small wristed rat bastards like him. You and Teddy Baldassar would be so happy with a 37 millimeter sub. Yeah, the sub's what, 41 now, right? It's a good watch. I'm wearing one today that'll get a lot of shit. Uh-oh, what's BW got on the wrist today that's going to get everybody some shade? Uh-oh. Well, thank you, Sergio. I like the white dial too. You know, this is I had sold the first one I got, and I got it again because I missed it. But I had actually, at the height of the madness for the seaweed green, I had ordered one at my, well, it used to be my local AD because they're gone. But I went in to pick it up, and they had the white one sitting there, and the white was my second choice, and I kept going back and looking at it, and I ended up buying the white over the seaweed. The seaweed is nice. It looks really black in a lot of settings, and I don't know, there's just something about that white dial with the black bezel, the red markings for Seamaster and the tip of the thing. It's really good. BW says I need to look at my email, and yeah, I have tried on the Explorer 40. Oh, the Space Dweller, wasn't that like the Space Dweller was like an Explorer with this? Was that a Japanese only model, if I remember correctly? Someone help me out with that. I can't remember. I can't remember everything. I've got a giant head. All right, I really do. My head is really, look at this thing. Ooh, it's almost as big as my wrist. A giant head. But even when I get one of these, I have to get, I don't know if they have the size on the inside of this or if it's just worn out from use, but I have to get the bigger version of these things. For my Canadian friends, there's my Luchador sticker on the bottom. I started to show this last week. We were talking about stuff, but yeah. So yeah, even with a goalie mask, I can't go with the standard size. I need a big one. Boom, we're ready. We're ready to play some goalie. Look at that. Beauty, eh? But so yeah, I go with the bigger size because I got a giant head. Space Dweller is a time capsule name of Rolex's failed attempts to leverage space programs for marketing. See? Morning, Cabby Lake. Is it Cabby or Cabby? I think it's Cabby. I don't know. Which is no small headed red bastard. I get a giant head. Even when I get like, one size fits all hats, if I get one, I have to get one that's a large, extra large. They got a giant cranium. What are you gonna do? Someone has to have the giant cranium and the big wrist. Good morning, George Varghese in the house. Good to see you, George. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go pull up. I believe that BW sent us something else here. Uh-oh. BW might have sent something. Yes, he did. BW is wearing this today. Boom. He's got an F1 tag Heuer. What year did he say this was? A 92? Was that a 92 there, BW? A 90s, an oldie but a goodie. Yes, it is. Sergio, hold on. Sergio says big heads are for big brains. That's why I have all that stuff stored in there. Yes. I am still interested in the deep sea. That will probably be my next watch. I need to make a couple moves first. And it's been a little bit slow at the dealership, so I haven't kind of stepped back a little bit, just trying to put some money away because it's been like a little eerily slow the last couple months, but we will get back to it. I'm sure. I don't have any doubts there. But with the economy, the interest rates, the prices, and the presidential election, it's made things a little slow. So I need to move a couple pieces, put a couple bucks away. But yes, the deep sea is probably my future. It's probably a deep sea or a sea dweller, but I really prefer the deep. I love the dial in the deep sea. I don't necessarily prefer the thickness of it, but the dial is amazing. It is definitely an old. It is a 92. Yeah, I remember when those watches were all the rage. Those Formula Ones. I had a Formula One of some sort. I think I had two. They were later though. They were 2000s. One was on a rubber strap. I used that as my cycling watch forever. It was a big watch, big. Had the big two disc date at the top. Yeah. Excuse me. It was beauty. It was an absolute beauty of a sport watch to wear cycling. Then I had just like an F1 chronograph. Newer than that. I'll find pictures. I will find some pictures. Let's see. Leave you guys hanging there with what I had. Let me see what I can come up with here. I've owned a lot of watches in my time. Yeah, it's funny. I listen to some of these guys, these experts in the watch field that have been collecting watches like since 2020, and I'm always like, well, yeah. You're relatively new. So that was my cycling watch for better part of a decade. That was a Formula One. That one had the plastic bezel, like you see on a lot of them. It's kind of a classic watch. It was a good watch, but it was great for cycling. It was great for cycling, I have to say. Go through this thing a little bit here. Alpina. Way too many watches. Let's just say that. There it is. Hold on. That was the other F1 I owned. That one had that kind of black ceramic center links on the bracelet. And I had that watch for a few years. That was a good kind of daily watch for a while. It was kind of cool looking without being ostentatious for dealing with the masses, which is a danger sometimes. Sometimes people think if you're wearing too nice of a watch, you have too much money. You're making too much money on them. But what are you going to do? Sometimes it needs to be done. BW got his tag war in Bermuda. Very good. I've also owned an Aqua Racer, which surprisingly is a very nice watch. Very solid piece, big, heavy piece of steel. I think sometimes we dog on tag too much. They make some interesting stuff here and there. Some of their new stuff has been nice. A little pricey, but not bad. I wouldn't say bad in any stretch of the imagination. We got 29 people watching this. Jeez, oh Pete, how many upvotes do we got? 21. We're short a couple upvotes. Please make sure you hit the upvote button. We need to have a discussion about staying on the air. One of the things we look at is the upvote. So please let me know what's going on there. What you guys like? Do you like having a Sunday morning stream with the Luchvetic? Would you prefer to go to the Colony and watch whatever they happen to be doing at the time? Archie or whoever. Maybe OC could start a Sunday morning stream. He likes to stream. We will not be talking about the timepiece gentleman or loose today. Why? Because why waste our breath on that? That's just terrible content. I don't know why everybody wants to talk about that. But, that is a bad man who's in jail, who should stay in jail and has not learned his lesson. And we need to ignore him and ignore those that he sends out to say, hey, here's what I'm doing or whatever. Yeah, fuck that guy. Why would you? I mean, I've seen multiple streams with, he's talking to, fuck that guy. If you're talking about that guy, you're a douche. And that's all I got to say on that subject. Don't be a douche. Talk about something interesting. If you're so desperate for like ratings and clicks and views that you're talking about TPG while he's rotting in jail, blah, yuck. Collector Invest says, I'm getting more Tissot PRX, but different dial color and movement. Cool. I wanted people to guess the movement and dial color of his next. So everybody guess what you think Nathan's getting in his next PRX. I don't know what you have now, Nathan, so you need to give me a little bit of a clue. I'm assuming that maybe you have a quartz and you want to go to a Powermatic 80. Would be my first guess. Lucha, would you ever consider doing a live breakfast? It's so hard. The problem is that I do so much stuff behind, like, I would have to have, the only way I could really do it is if I had everything chopped up and ready to go beforehand. It's just such a pain in the butt. to get that all recorded. Because I don't just make lousy eggs. I try and make a full meal. So there's a lot that goes into it. We'll look at it though, Logan. We'll look at it. What did you think of my fillet and scallops the other day? My lucha surf and turf. It was delicious. Like I said, I made it medium because that's the way my mother likes it. And I just went with that. I didn't bother making two different ones, but because that's my mother, she birthed me, and you got to make her happy too. I don't know what the Penguins are going to be like this season. I mean, they're running back a lot of the same team, although they did trade for Cody Glass. They did just trade for McGrody, but I think he's going to play at Michigan this year. They made some small moves. They don't have a lot of cap space. They are in trouble in a lot of ways. BW says, let that guy rot in jail alone. He wasn't interesting in the first place. Yeah, I never really watched his shows. I saw one. I was like, ugh, this is all hype. Boogered bullshit. But the hype boys they refuse to let him go. The hype people refuse to let him go. Look, if you're watching a watch stream and in this time frame, and you could be fooled by a guy like that, God bless you. Because everybody knows that guy's. Everybody knows that you really shouldn't consign all but the most specialty of watches. I mean, everybody knows this. Do we need to really revisit this over and over and over again so that we can say, hey, we're here to help the watch people? No, you're not. You're there to try and get people to click on your video because it says TPG. You're not fooling anyone, people. You're not fooling anyone. That guy brings ratings. The highest rated show that I did on the watch community was a TPG show. It's the day after he had come on to Tim's stream, and we had a stream to talk about it. That was the most viewed show that I did on the watch community. Why was it the most viewed show that I did on it? Because it said TPG. So you're not fooling anyone. All right. You're making a mockery of things. You're out of things to talk about. You're whatever, whatever it is. Stop it. Just stop it. Fucking ridiculous. Sorry. Did I say that out loud? Because it is. Mark, do you think the same strategy to avoid was effective in medieval Romania when in reference to the growing vampire population in Carpathians? Oh, God. Well, they didn't have the internet. No, they did not have the internet. So it's harder to get the news out. You had to have the little kid there with the bell selling newspapers. Extra, read all about it. Vampires in Carpathia. Okay, so Collector Invest has the Blue Dial Quartz model and is looking for guesses on what movement and dial color he's going to go for in his next PRX. Logan Hall says, my surf and turf looked great. Thank you, sir. Coming from Logan Hall, that's quite the compliment. Johnson EDC is in the house. Good morning, Mark and chat. I'm glad I could catch some of the stream finally. Yes. How's the new trailer working out? I love that Johnson is, he spends a lot of time with his family and his dogs. So when we don't see him for a while in the streams, it makes me happy because it means that he's out doing people things that humans do, rather than sit here and on every watch stream. I do this once a week. I did it every day when I wasn't working, and it was a little tedious. But can you imagine having to stream so much. Like I just can't even imagine having to do this. You know, like I can't imagine why you would want. Oh, I'm going to stream today. I don't get it. I don't get it. Watch YouTube is dying. There's 300 people. It's the same 300 people on most of these streams. So you're all vying for the same audience. Oh, George Varhey has an interesting question. The most underrated wrestler, Big John Studd or superstar Billy Graham? Now that, George, is easy. Superstar Billy Graham was decades ahead of his time. Superstar Billy Graham was stick was stolen by Jesse the Body Ventura, Hulk Hogan. He was the original. He was he was great. Superstar Billy Graham defeated Bruno Sammartino for the probably back then the WWF championship. Excuse me. Big John Studd was just big. He wasn't a good promo. He wasn't a good, he really wasn't a good wrestler. I saw him live many times at the old Civic Arena here in Pittsburgh, and he was a big dude, but that was all he was a big dude. Superstar Billy Graham was energy, excitement, promos, big fucking biceps and triceps and big shit. Oh, geez, the dude was amazing. He was amazing. I was working out nice. We were supposed to go out to the state park this weekend, but the weather took a turn. Ooh, gotta be careful with the weather. Yeah. Yeah, good for you, Johnson. Good for you, sir. Get out and do something. That's the other thing. Go do something. Be productive. And not only do something nice for someone, say something nice to someone, and be the light that you want to see shining through others. In order to accomplish that, you need to get out of your house and do something. You know what I mean? You have to go do some stuff. There's no reason to be stuck in your house. And honestly, if you're stuck in and again, it's the same 300 people watching all these streams. You're not going to be fooled by TPG. You're just going to get sucked in by the title. George Varhey says Barry Windham or Nature Boy Buddy Landell. Two that I like, but I would go with Barry Windham. I thought he had a great career. Good guy. Was a great horseman when he was in the Four Horsemen. Had a good shtick, good promo, good stuff. Let's see. Mark said, Kansas, I agree and disagree about the same 300. Within the sphere of the biggest channels, there are many communities, some of which do not even interact with those in our shared person. Yeah, but when you look, I guess what I'm saying is when you go through the chats on the channels that we all know and love, I see so many of the same people. So, trying to send out warnings about the timepiece, gentlemen, really? That's just trying to you're looking for clicks. Good morning, OC. How are you, sir? Good to see you. And greetings. You'll be happy to see an old tagged horror of mine on the screen. I'm trying to think of when I bought that watch. Probably around 2010, 2008, something like that. I don't know. I've been watch collecting for a long time. Not really collecting, but I've been a watch guy for a long time. I am not new to watches. So when people are like, "Oh, I bought my first watch in 2020," okay, that's not that impressive. My first seriously nice watch I probably bought in the 90s. wear my stuff and wear it for a little bit and move on to other stuff. My first Rolex I bought in 2001. It doesn't make me better. It just makes me have been in here in the space a lot longer. I remember old message boards. I remember getting shade on old message boards when I bought my first Rolex, because I bought the Thunderbird. I bought the Datejust Thunderbird. Oh my God, the people hated me. They lambasted me for that watch. You had all the professional series people that were like, it's not really Rolex, it's Datejust. And then the purists were like, why do you have a rotating bezel on your Datejust? Oh, they were angry. Everyone was angry with me back then. I have to go defend myself on freaking message boards. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Excuse me. There's 30K subchannels every day out there with completely different people supporting those communities with some overlap. Yeah, but I'm just talking about the people that we see on a regular basis. Very similar crowds. I get that there are other people out there, but those people don't seem to be coming over to our streams, I guess is what I'm saying. I like to have a nice group of 30, 40, 50 people here. Makes me happy. It's nice to see a lot. It's nice to see new people pop in. It's nice to see old people too, the people. And again, we're going to talk about this at the end of the show because we're coming to the end of my StreamYard month. And last week's show got banned for showing, I think, more showing the speed loader. They were really unhappy that I was showing how to quickly add bullets to a magazine. YouTube hates that on a live stream. Apparently, you can do it all you want if it's not a live stream. But if you're live, be careful. Don't do that. George Barhees, Bob Orton Jr. or Bob Backlund? See, now this is tougher. Because Bob Backlund was a great wrestler, but not really a great promo guy. It's funny, he had Arnold Skolin around with him, but he was a little babyface. Little, bland. Bob Orton Jr., great wrestler, but he was much more of a secondary or backup character than Bob Backlund ever was. Bob Backlund was champion for a long time and relevant for a long time. And Bob Orton Jr. was relevant in that he was the muscle behind people like Roddy Piper and Adrian Adonis and people like that. So I don't know. I think it's weird. JB in the chat. Good to see you. I would go Bob Orton Jr. Good to see you, JB. Good to see you. Once more unto the breach. Good morning, sir. Hi, all. I think the salient point is, how can one expect to make a living running a channel that basically caters to a very limited set of donors? Yeah, that's why I agree. So, like OC, Diego, those guys, they Boston, they do a lot of things for charity rather than trying to make a living doing this, because I can't imagine trying to make a living doing this. Even at the height of doing those community streams, I can't imagine trying to make this work as my main source of income. It'd be a lot of work, but again, it should be fun. Should be relevant. You can touch on some topics, but if you're putting a TPG or a loose title out there, that's just clicking. You just want the clicks. There's no doubt. There's no reason to talk about it. With the group that we have, aside from a statement saying, hey, TPG's back around, be careful if you haven't heard of him. There's no reason to talk about that. All you're doing is giving breath to that rat bastard who doesn't deserve anyone's breath. He doesn't deserve it. Very happy 75th birthday to the God of Thunder, Gene Simmons of Kiss. 75 years old. Kiss was a phenomenon when I was a kid. I remember. Remember the Destroyer album, Kiss Alive 2, Rock and Rolla, something like that. I remember that. I remember getting all those albums when they came out. Good morning, Billy. How are you, sir? Good to see you in the chat. BW. Wow, Gene Simmons is even older than him. When can we expect to come back to her? Yeah, as soon as TPG sends me an email saying it's okay, we'll have a comeback tour. Jesus. That's it. It's irritating to see those titles because, like I said, anybody in these channels pretty much knows who TPG is. So going over that shit over and over and over and over again. Fuck. Are we back there again? Is that where we are again? No wonder I can't stand being on YouTube. Told a coworker that kids' labor makes smartwatches and phones. Okay. The Kiss Army. Uh-oh. BW sent me a picture of his very first watch. Let me go find that. Hold on. BW, send us all the pics today. If you guys want to send a pic of a watch, hit me up at luchabedic@gmail.com. That's right. I have an email dedicated just to you guys. Let's see. My first watch. Ooh. Piso Bizza Day. Look at this thing. And he still has it. Look at that. Piso Visit 8 Automatic P-Star PR516. That tells me that BW has been doing this for been a watch guy for a while. And again, if you just got into the hobby, that's fine. But if you just got into the hobby since, 2018 and on, you're probably a hype watch guy more than a watch guy. And I know, it is what it is, but you came in when watches were hype. You rode the wave. And that's fine, but there's more to it. There's more to it. There's Tissot. He just took that picture. Wow. From 1968 or so. Damn. I wish I had my old watches from when I was a kid. I had some Hamiltons and stuff like that. And then I remember when the digital became big, and, Casios, and I think I had a Texas Instruments watch. I can't remember. I had a bunch of those. I remember the Timex that was, it did both. It was a quartz watch, but it had both a digital and an analog display. That was a cool watch. I had a lot of watches growing up. Through the years. I'll tell you the first, I think I flashed a picture. Hold on. And again, I apologize, but back in the day, you didn't really take pictures of a lot of watches. So I have to pick up some other images. This was the first two-tone watch. I probably got that in like 98. It was a quartz watch. It was a SEMA. It was, I think called, I can't remember. It was a two-tone stainless and 18 karat. I liked it because it was thin and really shiny, but it was a little bit different and a little bit nicer than the Movados that everyone was wearing at the time. See, once more in the breach. Yeah. See, it wasn't. I remember the Texas Instruments. Yeah. SEMA Charisma. That's what that watch was called. That was a SEMA Charisma. Yes. Yeah. So the Texas Instruments watch was cool. I had a bunch of Timexes as a kid. I remember the Hamilton. I remember not being as old as Brian.
Huh?
What's up, Brian?
Well, I just woke up, so I thought I'd come over here and hang out and see what eggs you made for me today to look at.
I made a Benedict with prosciutto, little garlic spinach. I made a curried hollandaise.
Okay, I'm good.
It was delicious.
I'm still finishing off my traditional French breakfast.
Cigarette and a baguette.
2 cups of coffee and 3 cigarettes. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what do you think of this watch? This was my first two-tone watch I ever bought. It's not actually a picture of my watch. I don't want to be Tim G'd.
Oh.
But it is a picture of a watch. Of a watch that I once owned one of. But it was SEMA Charisma.
I'm telling you, the 1950s was a bad time for design.
Oh, come on. That was in the late 90s. I bought that instead of Movado. Everyone was buying Movados at the time. Movado craze was hot and heavy. And I was like, I kind of like this better. A little local jeweler that had SEMA and Rolex. Well, and I bought that. It was shiny and two-tone stainless and 18 karat. It's a cool watch.
Wow, like real 18 karat or plated?
Real 18 karat.
Wow, oh, you were posh.
Yes. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't cheap either. For a quartz watch.
I bought in the very late 1980s. I bought one of those nugget designed solid, supposedly gold watches with the black dial and the diamond markers.
Ooh!
And we bought a his and hers set from the fine established retailer of QVC.
Oh, QVC! You were early on the QVC train.
Yeah, and that watch was absolutely great until your wrist turned green.
Yeah. Rob F, I don't know if I have the old. I don't know where those pictures are, but if you want to if you have them handy, send them over to luchabedic@gmail.com. Oh man. So this afternoon, Brian, my friend from Orlando is in town with her daughter.
Whoa, hello.
Yeah, they're going to something today, the Cookie College or something. I don't know. There's some kind of event they're going to here in town, and then we're gonna have dinner later. But
wow,
I know. It'll be nice to see her. I haven't seen her since probably like last fall when she was in
That's a good recovery time.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I need to. You just reminded me.
Uh-huh. Well, as long as you're not misremembering.
No, you just reminded me.
This was the other SEMA that I have. Again, I'm going off on a little bit of a Tim G tangent. I didn't take pictures of watches a lot back then. This was another late 90s SEMA that I had. This was a Navy Star chronograph. Another cool watch. SEMA pulled out of the States. I think you can still buy them in Europe.
I mean, if you wanted to do a true Tim G like rant, wouldn't you talk about the fact that you own the third Richard Mille that came into this?
Yes. Well, he's been, it's hard because you got, I don't want people to say, oh, he's showing them, we did a Google reverse search of, well, yeah, you do Google reverse search of this picture. You will probably find the picture because I don't have a picture of the watch that I own. I am simply showing you a rendition of something that I had.
And we're so impressed that you had this that I don't know what to say.
It is what it is, It is what it is. But yeah, it was a good watch. It was a fine SEMA.
It went tick, tick, tick and told what time.
Yes. Well, that's really all you need, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the first quartz that I got that did did like the double jumping when the battery was getting low.
Oh yeah.
Because before that, it was like you'd look down at your watch and
it just stopped.
It was dead.
I know. That was great technology. Like I said, I remember the Timex I had that had both digital and analog display on it. That was a great. Whoa, are you kidding me? Fancy. I felt fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were many of the I've owned many watches over the years, and again, all of these pictures are just renditions. Let's go to the beginning. We'll just flip through this thing real quick. Oh, there's my first Aquaterra. Had that for a little bit, a hot minute. It was small. To see what we talked about. Certina, I sold that to a salesman of mine who has it. He loves that. He absolutely loved it. I had a Mito. Tudors. I've had a number of Tudors. So I had that Tudor sub. I wish I still had that. Jeez. There's a rendition of the Datejust Turnograph, the Thunderbird. Axios Pathfinder. That was a cool watch.
That's kind of pretty.
The Axios?
Yeah.
That was a great little watch. I think a couple $100, $300 watch maybe? That wasn't a bad little thing. It had I think it was an NH35 in it.
That was back in the day when you didn't care what was in it as long as the dial looked nice and it told time.
Exactly. This was a great watch. I had this watch for over 20 years. The Maurice Lacroix Day-Date Pontos. That watch I had forever. That was my backup watch for a long time.
Boy, look at that. They even put the logo on the leather strap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Baltic. There's one of the. I've owned a few Islanders over the years. I had a two-tone Datejust for a while. There was the cycling. I had that watch for 10 years. I used to wear that cycling all the time for a decade. And now Pina for a while. Some of the stuff I just bought, played around with, moved on.
Hey. Lucha. Beetlejuice. Yeah. Beetlejuice is in the chat. If you say his name too many times more, he'll hop on.
Beetlejuice is in the chat? Who's Beetlejuice? Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Sergey says, first watch I had was a Mito that was gifted to me by my mother. What is your mail? Want to send some pics? Absolutely. Luchabetic, LUCHABETIC @gmail.com. Get you to my email. Love to see some pictures of you. Love when people send me pictures of their watches. I like Mito. The poll question, I don't know if anybody really was paying attention that I had a poll up. Would you like to see my poll, Brian?
Excuse me.
Sorry, best entry level GMT. The Longines Spirit Zulu time is at 32% of the votes. The Tudor Black Bay GMT is at 54. The Mito Ocean Star GMT, which I think is the best looking of them, I've said that before, is 5%, and the Baltic Aqua Scoff GMT at 8% so far, with 37 votes in. 37 votes. How many upvotes do we have?
Your poll's got what, 3 heads to it?
Yeah. Let's see. Higgins says, Brian, you should remember this. The Beta 21 had a frequency of 8192 hertz. Only later they moved up to 32768 hertz. What in God's name is he talking about, Brian?
I have no idea, but I agree 100% with him, and he's so right.
There you go. There you have it. Perfect.
Yeah. And last night we had Werther's caramel desserts at Epcot.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, at the Germany Pavilion.
Ooh. Lucky Bastard is in the chat. Good dudes. I met Lucky Bastard in Philly last time I was there. What a hoot. Funny guy. Just good, gracious, good dude. Hilarious. Love him. If you're ever in Philly, look him up. It was him, me, Evan G, OC showed up, then we met Small G later. It was a good time. Let's see. Sergio. Oh, he sent me some pictures. Sorry, I'll get that. Just one watch I bought with my own money in the 80s. On the right is the last I bought so far. So far being the key. Evan G is in the chat. Let me go pull this up so you guys see. On the screen is my Longines VHP, very high precision quartz. Something was good to like within a couple seconds a year. That was a nice little watch too. They make a GMT version of that you can set using your phone too, using the not the camera on your phone, but actually the light, I believe, on your phone. You can.
So being a watch collector and having more than 5 watches.
Yes.
The 2 things that I am really the least concerned about are power reserve and accuracy. Why? Because I generally wear a different watch the next day, so
yeah, I
set the new one the same.
You don't wind them all every day.
No. No. Now, back in the days when I was in the Irish rock band, I had somebody wind my watches for me.
There you go. Yeah. How can I make this big? This will not make big.
Yeah, we're looking at booking a really long cruise for next spring.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there thinking, even on a long cruise, I'm going to bring at least two different watches.
Okay.
This will be like a 3-week trip. And even during that time, I'm going to rotate the watches. And when I pick them up, I'm going to wind and set them. And we're going to be jumping so many time zones, I'm going to be resetting them. Yes. So what the hell do I care about the accuracy over a month, or the power reserve is more than 5 days? Who cares?
It's true. So this is Sergio's picture. I'm sorry, Sergio, it's not letting me make it bigger, but looks like we've got a Seiko of some sort on the left. and he knew his latest pickup. So the Seiko on the left is what he bought with his own money in the 80s, which is super cool. And on the right is the Polar Speedmaster, the new Speedmaster in white. Beauty. Absolute beauty of a watch. Who doesn't love that? Brian, did you see the steak I made the other day?
No,
Oh, you got to see it.
I'm gonna piss people off.
You don't like steak.
I don't like steak.
That's right. Do you like scallops?
Yeah,
I made,
love scallops.
made those with it.
Yeah, scallops are like the they're like the mollusk, mucus pile of the ocean. Love them.
Love them. And asparagus is always good. And who doesn't love some mushrooms and a fillet with it?
I don't like a food that changes the smell of your urine. There's something wrong with asparagus.
Oh man, I love asparagus, Pete.
It goes through the wrong hole, apparently.
Oh, it's great. Feels like I'm cleaning myself out.
Yes.
Little known fact: asparagus pea smells better than normal pea.
Yuck.
But yeah, that was good stuff. Let's go back over to Sergio's picture here. See if he can tell us what his Seiko was there on the left. That he picked up. Sergio, what is the Seiko on the left? And again, so far is the right phrase. Rob says, basically, Brian's not like one thing on the plate.
I like scallops. I like mushrooms.
Do you want to know a little scallop secret that a lot of restaurants do?
They cut them up.
They use shark.
Oh.
In a lot of restaurants, I've talked to some sous chefs from some restaurants over the years. They have little little round molds, and they cut out some shark to make their scallops because it's cheaper.
Huh.
And I don't know that I would know the difference.
I don't.
Even scarier. Seiko made in Brazil. Very cool. Very, very cool. Seiko's a great watch. I like Seiko. As much as I hate Grand Seiko, I love Seiko. I'm a weird dude. I can't help myself, Brian.
You like what you like.
It's true. Sergio says, once upon a time, Seiko had a factory in the middle of the Amazon jungle. Tax-free zone stuff. Although I believe that was only for assembly. Huh. I had no idea.
Yeah, and it used to be in the middle of the Amazon. Now it's in the center of a town because they cleared everything.
They cleared everything out. Well, that's how it goes for my goal of growing a palm tree in Pittsburgh. I need some more global warming, Brian.
Yeah.
I don't want to move, but I want a palm tree. Yeah, again, I'm a weird dude.
So let me tell you about living in Florida.
Yes.
You don't want palm trees.
I don't?
No, and here's why.
Why is that?
Those palm, the fronds, the big branches of them.
Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on those, because if you get any kind of wind and one of those breaks loose, dude, that's like a 6-pound projectile flying in the wind.
Ah. Would you say that something like that, a palm tree flying in the wind, could possibly be worse than this?
Yes, because that fell down. No, listen, that fell down where it was. It didn't go flying for a half mile through 100-mile-an-hour wind and pick up speed and just randomly launch into somebody's head.
Yes.
That just fell where it was.
Yeah.
You got a tree problem when you're near a tree. Palm trees and their loose palm front, and then apparently the running gag down here is that the idiots, before there's going to be a storm, they go and trim the the palm trees back and cut them down, and then they just pile up the palm fronds and put them out on the front for the trash to come.
Okay.
If there's no trash day between when they cut them and the actual weather event, then they're all lined up on the curb waiting to just go flying off.
Ah.
Palm trees are evil.
Palm trees are evil. Why? I think maple trees are evil.
Now, except if you decorate them with Christmas lights during the holidays, they do have a certain phallicness to them.
Ah. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and everybody puts up that meme picture or whatever thing.
The meme that comes out every year. Christmas of the palm tree penises. Although Evan G says palm trees are technically a type of grass. Huh.
Can't smoke it.
I'm still having a grass problem. Although it's grown in a little bit, but because of the shade that tree put on the corner of my lot, all that grass is just got fried. Because we had, right after that tree came down, or actually during that tree came down, there was a huge heat wave / drought, and that whole corner of my yard, including around the fire hydrant and inside the fence, just fried because it just wasn't used to, I guess, having any direct sunlight on it. It just fried my yard. I did fix the fence though, ish. But yeah, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess. But the fence looks a lot better now. Maybe. Oh, Sherman hurt his foot. Sherman had the worst day ever Wednesday morning. So he had a little infection in his toe. They took him to the vet, and they lanced it. Oh, Jesus Christ! And then they put some medication stuff on it, and some powdery stuff on it. And he has to take antibiotics. And while he was there, I'm like, well, let's get his toenails clipped because it's always a bitch to get him to sit still for that. So I held him while they clipped his toenails, and then he hates to ride in the car because he's blind. He doesn't understand it. It's, you know, I mean, most dogs love the car. Sherman just cowers because he just knows he's moving. He doesn't know why. And then he had, then they're like, well, next month his distemper and rabies shots are due. I'm like, oh, let's do those too. So he got the works Wednesday morning.
So not only did he hurt his foot, he got every hole penetrated and things.
He got everything. That poor little blind bastard.
Is he talking to you?
Yeah, he's talking to me. He was mad. He was when we first came out. He was mad for a little bit. What are you gonna do? It happens. He's Sherman. So yeah, I fixed the fence from where the one big branch came down through there in the one storm. So we're good to go there.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to.
What's that?
October and November, when I see all you suckers having to rake leaves and clean up leaves and stuff, and I'm down here looking at it going, hey, there's 3 leaves. Let me go pick them up with I'll clean it up by hand.
There you go. Well, on the bright side, I'm going to have less than half the leaves I normally have because most of the leaves came off of that one tree. So I should be in good shape.
But now, even worse, you've got more room for your neighbor's leaves to come in.
Yeah, it's true. But can you see the how that grass is all dead? It's just all died. It's just fried. It's just fried. So it's starting to come back a little bit. But the birds, every time I put some seed out, the birds come grab it. I have actually up here, if you can see where I'm pointing, up here behind this post on the inside, I got a little mother something with her babies just hatched up in that corner. I always get them up there. Usually I have them in both corners. I have them in one corner this year. So,
we have 3 more butterflies coming.
oh, there you go. Little cocoons.
Yep. Which is what I should be out there now, but it's a bright, sunny morning.
Yes. Same here.
I was like, I'm not going out there. I'll wait.
Very cool. But I always have a lot of trimming to do because of the fence. I say the fence was because I had at the time 3 dogs when I put up this fence. But Sherman's he's not a runner, so I could actually not have a fence. He just walks. He's fat. He's a big fat bag of potatoes. But he's my big fat bag of potatoes. And I just after losing a couple the last couple of years and then losing a couple of cats, I'm just really not in a position. I still have a dog and 2 cats. I'm not in mentally in a position to get another dog. DC and LV says out west, palm trees are the favorite home of scorpions. Like palm trees.
Yeah. And then the snakes go up into the palm trees to go eat the scorpions.
Ah. The circle of life.
Yep. You can have it.
I did want to see in here if I had a picture of this. Dear Artifact had asked me a question earlier. Not somewhere in here I had a picture of the Explorer 40 on my wrist. And it didn't look bad. What do you think of the Explorer 40, Brian?
I like it.
I think it's just a very classic, simple looking watch.
Yeah. I like the 40. I like the 39.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just good, clean, simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was into good, clean, and simple, I'd get one.
There you go.
But unfortunately, I don't like good, clean, and simple.
You don't like good, clean, and simple, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I do like the way they look.
Yeah.
I like the way some of those older 36 millimeter Air Kings.
There it is. Oh.
Yeah, I like the way they look. See, the nice thing about the if you go back to the picture showing the 39 Explorer and the Sea Aquaterra thing.
Actually the 40 and the Aquaterra.
Yeah. So if you look at those two, if you notice, Rolex does the hands right and Omega doesn't.
Omega does them better. They got that big arrow on the minute hand, so you're always sure where it is. Instead of that Mercedes thing that's a little short.
You're wrong, but go ahead.
Oh my, yeah, that. But the Explorer 40 of Dear Artifact, if you are still listening and or watching, there it is on my wrist. I've tried it out a number of times at places. It's a great watch. Nathan also entered to win a Tissot on the Tissot website. Well, I hope you win. Tissot is a great watch. It's hard to beat Tissot for an entry level watch. You know, a PRX at under $1,000 is a great watch. You know, I wish I could get back to those days when I would use one shitter watch.
There's a lot of Hamiltons that are in that same Tissot price range that are just great looking. Yeah. Great looking watches, easy to service because you don't service them. You just slap a new movement in them.
Yeah, they're just, there's something about them. But I may be moving on from the Swatch Group shitters, Brian. I mean, I may keep one. We shall see.
It's okay. This is Sunday. It's okay to admit your wrongs and to see the light.
See the light. see the light.
We'll love you no matter what, but we want you to be with us.
I know. But I said this earlier, and a couple people, BW agreed with me. I like the 21 millimeter lug width on the Explorer 40 because the watch really is more like a 39, but that it doesn't seem like it should make that big of a difference, but it does make it wear a little better on my 7.5-inch wrist with the 21 millimeter lug width versus the 20 on the 39. I don't know why. It shouldn't, but it does. Aesthetically, it looks a little better and it wears a little better.
How does it look on a NATO strap?
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I don't here's something I don't understand. I get NATO straps on some watches, and I've tried. It's just my wrist is big enough that the tuck, when you tuck it in, it doesn't stay.
Yeah.
So I have tried on some things, but on a Rolex, what does Rolex do better than anyone?
Bracelets. Yeah.
Their bracelets are better than anyone's bracelets. So why would you put your Rolex on something else, especially a NATO? That just makes no sense.
And when you look at a watch and it says, all right, fits 7.5 inches. If the lug to lug is 50 millimeters, that's what, close to 2 inches?
Mm-hmm.
So you got 5.5 inches of bracelet and buckle and only 2 inches of watch.
Yeah.
The bracelet is so important because
yes.
And I still have one of my Seiko 5 Brian May limited editions.
Uh-huh.
At one point I had 4.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, now I'm down to 1. Lost money on them. It was a great investment.
Sure.
And every time I go to put it on, it's got that double pass NATO with the fold over and everything, and I'm like, God damn it, it's just so bumpy.
Yeah. I tried. I tried the NATO. They don't fit me. Is the problem. I think. Scroll. Oh, here's another picture of an Explorer 40. But I'm pretty sure in here somewhere. There we go. Here, we'll do the video. That was the official, because it was supposedly a little bit longer. I went with the expensive Omega NATO. But see the tuck, it's hard to tell there, but it's not real. It's barely tucked in. It would just pop out all the time. And then it just looked like I wasn't wearing the thing right. See how it's right up against it doesn't really tuck on the keeper on my wrist. And that's a 50 millimeter lug to lug on that watch. So you should wear, frustrating. But what are you gonna do?
Yep.
No. I pulled this thing out the other day. I hadn't had this out in a while. I was wearing that the other day. I like that G-Shock. That one came on a 2-piece NATO. Still doesn't really fit that well, but it's kind of a cool watch.
G-Shock should be the official watch of the Jeep.
Yeah, no, not Marathon.
Yeah.
I get it. But, what do you do? Let's see what else we got here. I think this is going up for sale, Brian. I know.
Dear Lord, although he will not listen, I pray for my friend Mark's soul. He, he is misguided at times and wanders a dark path, and I just hope that it might see through. Yes, you did throw half a tree down on him, and he still didn't realize his wrongs.
Still didn't get the message.
Yes, please don't send the other half a tree down on him.
Well,
You might actually accidentally get the cute blind dog.
yeah.
So just we hope. Although I do say if he puts that stupid mesh bracelet on that watch again, then let him get rid of it. He doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't deserve it. Oh, we're good on the mesh.
I'd rather he be wrong alone than wronging others while he has it.
Oh wow, the wronging of others.
Yes.
I've been wearing this a lot.
Yep.
That's just a fine looking piece. This is why I don't own an Explorer 40.
Yeah.
You know, but that watch is it's so comfy. It's not very thick, and it's a nice. The bracelet's good looking, and it's just a good looking piece.
And you know, you can discreetly time your sales meetings
Yes.
with that without anybody really knowing that you're timing it, because they don't understand what that inner bezel is anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It is true.
I'm so sad about that CK thingy. I need to smoke.
Driving Brian to smoke.
That doesn't take much.
But here was breakfast today.
Fantastic.
Poached eggs. Delicious.
How many carbs in the 4 strawberries?
Those are strawberry tomatoes.
Oh, that's worse. Worse.
Dirk Diggler is in the house. Praising Pastor Brian.
Amen. I don't think Dirk ever sleeps.
It's true. It is true. Excuse me. But
tomatoes are a fruit disguising themselves as a bad tasting vegetable.
Huh. So Brian, initially I did the poll on the GMTs, and I pulled up this Time and Tide article on the 11 of the best GMT watches for tracking the time all around the globe. I was going to see what your thoughts were on some of these.
That Cartier's a GMT?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Of course. They started with the Seiko 5 SKX.
I like that Seiko 5 XKX. I don't like the price, and I don't like the thickness.
Yeah.
Or the jingly jangly.
It is very jingly jangly. The Baltic Aquascape GMT. Okay. I mean, Baltic's okay. Yeah.
Oh, can I answer Otto's question?
Oh, Otto has a question. I was on the article. Yes, go ahead.
2 completely different watches. I own one now. I've owned the other one before. The root beer is much more subtle.
Okay.
But I love, and the Guinness is pretty shimmery, shiny. But I'm a big fan of the Jubilee bracelet over the Oyster bracelet. For a daily, the Guinness is going to show less wear than the root beer is because of the big polished center links. But yeah, the root beer is a lot more subtle, lot more subdued. Both of them are fantastic.
I agree. They're both great watches. It's hard to go wrong.
Yeah.
I wish they did the 41 subcase in them, but that's just me. I got big wrists.
I think it's coming.
I think it is too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you like this watch, right?
I'm surprised I haven't gotten the call for it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the one on rubber because
Okay.
I don't need another bracelet watch. I've got a few GMTs on bracelets.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
So I want the rubber one. The one on the rubber strap for a little sporty or lighter feeling. And I'm starting to see these on eBay at, like right at or slightly above retail.
Nice.
So that means they're getting out to the market.
If they do the master chronometer in the 41 with the opaline dial, the white opaline dial, I will snatch one of those up immediately.
If it had the adjustable T-fit clasp.
Yeah.
The current 41 is on the fixed clasp.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, it needs to have the T-fit. It needs to be the master chronometer version. It needs to have the lollipop seconds instead of the snowflake seconds. Then I'm in.
I can proclaim this with much expertise and experience because I'm me.
Okay.
And I have both a Rolex stainless steel Jubilee with the Easy Link and the Tudor T-fit 5-piece on the chronograph.
Yes.
Almost equally as comfortable. The only slight difference is that the Tudor clasp is just like a millimeter or two wider.
Okay.
And that, because I have delicate wrists.
Yeah. Dirk, I miss my Zulu time. My brother has it. It is a great watch. I had the green bezel one with the kind of the gray dial. It was a great watch. My brother loves it. He doesn't have money for expensive watches, so yeah, he can have it. But I see those every once in a while. I'm like, should I just buy another one? Because it's a good looking piece. I like it. But I think I would rather have the Tudor 41 if they made those changes. That's kind of what I'm waiting on for that kind of price range GMT. I'd like to have one of those. Otto says the 41 subcase with Coke bezel is the next GMT Master 3 collection next year. That would be great. Because I prefer the Coke to the Pepsi. I only like the Pepsi on the Meteorite like you have, Brian.
Yeah.
Or in the white gold with the blue face. The black face with the red and blue doesn't work for me.
The Pepsi bezel has never worked for me on the stainless because you've got the black with the red hand.
Yeah.
And then you got this weird blue shit bezel part.
Yeah, it's just odd. So a Coke would be amazing on that watch.
I have the only Pepsi bezel that I had ever requested was the Meteorite.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, it's just aesthetically, I think it works better. I prefer the Batman or the Batgirl over the Pepsi. People always tell me I'm insane, and I'm like, but the black and blue work with the black dial better for me,
And I think we may see a platinum Coke.
Whoa. Speaking of Pepsis, though, congratulations still to Muhammad Ali. Good to see you in the chat. He says the dream would be a root beer with a Jubilee bracelet. Do they do any rose gold Jubilees?
Yeah, in the Date Just 41s.
Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, I was thinking of my mind was in the professionals and the GMTs, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And they do rose gold and yellow gold on the President bracelet. I'm trying to think if the Sky-Dweller, the Sky-Dweller two-tone on Jubilee is yellow gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, a kid that he's very successful now. He was a salesman for me years ago. They'd hired and trained as a young buck. But I ran into him it's been months and months now, but he was wearing a two-tone Sky-Dweller with the rose gold oyster bracelet. It was a beautiful watch.
That's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful watch.
That means he screwed a lot of Jeep buyers. I mean, he sold a lot of Jeeps.
He made his way up the corporate ladder for a big dealer group, so good for him.
Ah, yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a great watch. BW says Coke is it. Yes, I agree. I think a Coke would be amazing. I'm really looking forward to them coming back out with that. I think they will release it first in white gold, though, says Anna, similar to what they did with the Pepsi launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think the Daytona's got a platinum version. Why wouldn't they come out with a platinum anniversary? Yeah, a platinum short run anniversary edition of the GMT Master 2. And remember, there's the all blue one that they did for a short run back in the historical days.
Yeah. They make a full rose Jubilee Sky-Dweller, says Otto. With a teal dial. They might. I don't look at the Sky-Dwellers that often. I don't hate them. Yeah, but I don't look at Rolex for complications. Does that make sense?
I don't like the Sky-Dweller didn't well wear on me.
Yeah.
Did I say that correctly? Didn't wear.
I don't think you did.
Wear well on me. Hi, welcome to Sober Time in the Morning.
Hi, Brian.
Hello.
George Varhey says, speaking of two-tone, my favorite is the Daytona with the black dial. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just so small and girly.
Like that champagne dialed Daytona. But not buying a Daytona. Yeah, anyway, so we're going through your time and tide thing.
Oh yeah, we were looking at some GMTs.
Yeah.
See what they had on there. Nomos. I don't like that watch at all.
No, I'm not 28 years old with a big with a mustache, and I weigh more than 105 pounds.
This watch I do like. As far as a Grand Seiko, this is the only Grand Seiko that I really like. It's the Evolution 9 Spring Drive GMT.
Yep, great looking watch, terrible bracelet and clasp.
Terrible bracelet, terrible price, terrible name. But
I just found a Cartier Roadster GMT.
Oh wow! There's the Cartier Santos, the Cartier Dual Time.
Dual Time. Okay, so Dual Time irritates me.
Yes,
because you can't really at a glance see easily day and night.
Yeah.
And so it's not a GMT, so you don't get the 24-hour dial, you just get 2 times.
Right. Yeah, I think that's kind of annoying as well.
Yeah. The only exception I would make to a dual time is if somebody offered me one of the Patek Philippe's that I want.
Yeah.
You want a deal on an AP, look for the AP Royal Oak with the dual time. It's got the JLC movement in it. Sells for a lot less than the comparable 3-handed Royal Oaks would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't worry about setting the dual time.
Yeah. This is not a good picture of this watch because it's very subdued in the blue and red. But that's the watch we were talking about with the black face that I think would look better with I only like it in the blue or the meteorite.
Yeah.
These are cool watches.
No, it's a dual time and you can't tell. Get it off the screen.
Get off the screen.
Get it off the screen.
I like this watch.
It's got no running seconds. It's got no date. It's just got an extra hour hand that you can hide. Get it off the screen.
Oh,
Forget it.
man.
Move on. Move on. Nothing to see here, folks. Just move along. Move along.
How about a pilot travel time Calatrava?
That's one of the ones that would, if they, for me, this is a fantastic watch, but for me, they've got it in 42 and 37. So it's either too big or too small for me.
Okay.
But what a good look. I really love the blue version of that with the blue strap that comes with it.
Okay. Here comes another dual time. This isn't a GMT article at all. This is mainly a dual time article.
What they should call this is travel watches.
Yeah.
Not GMTs.
Gotcha. How about a Grubel 4Z?
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a great watch.
Yeah.
Can't make these pictures
Until you see the price, it's fantastic. Yeah. I think
$500,000 on the bracelet.
Yeah,
you save $20,000 and get it on the rubber strap, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like 480,000.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Offshores never really did much for me.
The offshore would be great for you.
I mean, it's big, but it's just the look of it. I just never really looked at one and said, "Ooh, that's a good looking one." I just they're okay.
Yeah, George said that Grubel Force is unreal. That Grubel Force is a way for you to wear $500,000 on your arm, and everybody thinks you're wearing some Chinese Alibaba Kickstarter thing, except for 1 in a million people that'll walk by it and go, "Oh, I know what that is."
Yeah.
1 in 10 million people.
It says the offshore gives me Jersey Shore vibes. Always has, always will. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. But yeah, that's the group of 4Z in general make beautiful watches. I like them. George, if you would like to pop on and talk about Grubel 4Z, more than happy to have you.
Just hop on and make my teeth feel bad for a little bit.
Ah, there you go.
I'm halfway tempted to buy this. I'm halfway tempted to buy this Cartier Roadster GMT that I just found. I'm not telling anybody where it is. I don't want anybody going over there snaking it.
All right. I like the Roadster. I think the Cartier Roadster is a cool looking watch. It's one of the few Cartiers that I kind of enjoy. I don't want to pull it up in case I pull up yours.
Oh, don't worry about it.
All right.
And if I wear it on, I'd wear it on my right wrist so that extra long Roadster knobby crown wouldn't be poking down my wrist. It'd be going up my arm. Problem is I can't tell what kind of strap that's on. So now I'm doing what I always do. I'm going through and doing a price check just to make sure that I'm not, doing a simple Google search to make sure I'm not getting hosed the wrong way.
Yes. Yeah, I like the shape of these cases. I'm not crazy about the weird Cyclops, but the rest of the watch I like.
I drive a Mini Cooper. The weird Cyclops doesn't bother me.
George.
Good morning, Mark and Brian.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How's things with you?
Good.
Yo, what up, GV? What up?
One of my most favorite people on these streams, Brian the Pipe.
Brian the Pipe. Who doesn't love Brian the Pipe?
Neo doesn't love
this
me.
Cartier. I love this Cartier.
Isn't it good looking?
Oh my God, I love it so much. I own one.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well, kids, that just talked me out of buying one.
I have the Roadster XL Chrono in two-tone.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the Roadster is probably my favorite Cartier that they've made. I like. There's something aesthetically pleasing about the watch. This GMT, I never really looked at before, but it's good looking too. But I think they did a nice job with these. They don't make these,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's all been discontinued. I think the Roadster line has been discontinued, right, Brian?
I hope so.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
I mean, they're really. I mean, you got it. This is basically the blind dachshund of the Cartier line. Yeah.
Oh man, poor Sherman.
Out of Jesus.
Well, I mean, look at it. It's got a long nose. It's kind of chunky and cute, and there's a few people that really love them.
Well, I guess I'm one of them.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the issue I have with this is like the links to adjust the links on this. It's a pain. It is really not easy to. Oh yeah, for some reason I had to take it to a jeweler to have him do it. Even he had a difficult time. So.
Oh wow.
I am so happy. I found the Orlando Watch Company. I got recommended to go there, and I was a little nervous because you take your watches into some Yahoo watch. I go in there. Oh my God, they are serious.
Yeah.
And they are good, and they do full service repairs. One of the people that's semi-associated with them was an AP service watchmaker for 15 years.
Oh, you were telling me a story about his wife, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. His wife was the first one that told me keep an eye out for Teddy Baldessar. And then
that's what it was.
And then I got an email from my guy at Crown and Caliber that said, "Hey, I'm working for Teddy Baldessar now."
Great.
Yeah. So severe, heavily connected, really into interesting stuff. I'm so happy I got a real watchmaker.
Very cool.
The funny thing is I think Teddy's general manager was my sales associate at Goldberg back in the days, John Callahan.
Yeah, you said that too.
Yeah.
So since I bought the Spirit Zulu time that my brother has, I actually bought from Teddy's. Because at the time it was a hot watch. It was hard to find. There was, and he had a first time buyer discount, and he got one. They sent me. He was the first one to send me an email saying, "Hey, we have it back in stock." So I got it, and I can't say enough. As much as I like to make fun of his tiny wrists, I had that watch in under 24 hours from Cleveland. Because
I have to admit, I did. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, but that put me on their email list. So every time they have something going on, I get notifications from it. And I want to go see his new store because it's really not that far away. I should just drive up there on one of my days off and just go check it out.
I have to admit, I do enjoy his collabs with Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah,
they're pretty good. I remember the one just before COVID where they're in Miami. Did you see that one where they go to Vacheron, they go to FP Journe and a few other places? I thought it was pretty cool. They do a pretty good job.
Cool. Yeah, they're good. I like when they do that stuff, but I think even more entertaining are when Teddy shows them some shitters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think those are good too.
I've always wondered how these people like Teddy and like those what is it, Grand Caliber or whoever they are in Texas, and and the other two guys that broke away from them, and then Mike and Josh,
Alpha
Crown or Beta Crown, whatever Crown, how what they're really doing these days with the market the way it is.
Yeah, me too.
Always kind of curious.
I am too. I think Teddy, because he's so much of what he does is new stuff, a lot of Swatch Group stuff. So I'm assuming he does okay with that.
Mm.
You know, but it's tough. You know, it's a tough market these days. It's the same with cars. Cars are a tough market.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the world has changed again.
How's the pipe market these days, Brian?
It's interesting because my event in Vegas is coming up in 7 weeks.
Mm.
So I've got this is the only real exposure I have anymore to what the consumer is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I have actual attendance data for the last, well, it'll now be 3 years of doing this event. And we are about 10% behind where we were last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there is I think there is a bit of a domestic concern, and just with the presidential election coming up and everybody being yelled at all the time about how screwed up things are, and so I think there's a bit of a downturn.
Yeah.
My stocks are doing fantastic, thank you, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So George, what's on the horizon for you?
Oh, what is on the horizon? Actually, I've actually don't have really anything on the horizon. I know it's hard to believe, but I just right now just kind of enjoying the pieces I have and just kind of taking it easy, Mark. You know, nothing really irks my desires just yet. And you know how that is. That can change on the dime.
That can
So
change. Yeah, you'll be in that IWC boutique in no time.
when hell freezes over.
Well, according to both of the presidential campaigns, that could happen in November.
Yes,
exactly.
You know, could be coming to a ballot box near you shortly.
Exactly. You know.
How's the? Are you still enjoying the heck out of that new Debut?
Yeah, I am actually.
I love that.
Wearing it the other day, so I would have. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on another one, but the Starry Seas, but the only problem is my 1916 AD said he can't get a hold of one. So he says if and when they get one, he said I'll be the first on their list. So
the Starry Seas. I think we looked at this before.
George likes these just because they're named after Van Gogh stuff.
That's it right there. Yeah,
it's a beauty.
Yeah.
And just to let y'all know, Crown and Caliber is down to 24 watches on their listings.
I keep getting emails from Hodinkee.
Yeah.
I guess they're selling off all their new stock too.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, can we go to that Crown and Caliber, see what's on their list?
Yeah,
can we just see?
I can tell you right now, there is nothing.
Brian's got it memorized.
Yeah, they're still overpriced on a lot of the stuff.
It's still overpriced. Oh, let's pull them up here. Boom.
Sorry, Crown and Caliber, but you know what? If you really want a discount, you need to look at what the real market price is and then discount from that, not just your own fake pricing.
A lot of a couple of Panerais. Huh?
Yeah, a couple of Panerais. We got as much as I love the Explorer one, I hate the two-tone Explorer.
Mark, do you own a Panerai?
I do not.
You need to get a Panerai.
You think?
Yeah,
I do have the
that IWC crap and move into a Panerai.
Move the Panerai.
I own a Panerai. I love my Panerai.
Yeah.
This is where I saw that Cartier Roadster two-tone or the GMT, and it's 3,500, and I found one on eBay with the full bracelet for 36 or best offer.
Wow.
Can you pull that up, Mark? What Brian's talking about? Is it on?
We'll find that one here. Oh, there it is.
Bottom left.
Mm.
This is on the strap with
Oh,
no
yeah.
box. Strap,
Yeah.
no box or
Yeah.
papers.
No box, no papers.
Yeah.
No information because
35 bucks.
Crown and Caliber's website sucks.
Yeah,
Brian, is this stainless steel or is this white gold?
Stainless.
stainless.
Okay, I was gonna say white gold. It's
Oh, if it was
I don't
white,
like the strap. I don't like the strap. It's on. I had one on a Santos like this strap, and it's
Okay.
horrible.
It doesn't. Here we go back to. It doesn't look comfy. It doesn't look
No.
easy. It doesn't look comfortable.
so wait, here's the problem with Crown and Caliber. Look at that strap. Look at that strap closely.
Mhm.
It's got like 5 gussets and 4 stitching stripes down the middle of it.
Yeah.
And then in their listing, it says that bracelet is leather.
Wow.
That is a fabric strap.
Yes.
How the fuck is that leather? You morons, which
You morons. Yeah, that's weird. But the watch itself, good looking.
Yeah,
Roadster,
it actually is.
Roadster would be if somebody said, Mark, you have to buy a Cartier, it would definitely be a Roadster. And the GMT is kind of good looking. But Cartier, a lot of the stuff they do is just okay to me. It's never been a brand that really spoke to me.
Brian, inquiring minds want to know: are you part of this Florida crew, or have you? Are you still a free agent, or what's the verdict on you?
Ooh,
yo, so check it out. Yo, jabronis. So what Mathis doesn't know is that I'm running a subversive campaign to remove him as the head of the Miami cartel because he doesn't even live in the same county as Miami and he keeps calling it Miami when it's actually Florida.
yeah.
So the powers that be, we've got this secret meeting group that's going on to float, to cut Marcelo off, float him out, cut Mathis out.
Mathis, they're cutting you out.
Mathis, we're cutting him out. We may keep him as a mouthpiece, but he won't know it,
I think you may have to excommunicate Mathis to the Alaska watch community.
The Alaska community.
I'm thinking what we're gonna do is we're gonna call him we're gonna call Mathis the head of the Gap for Kids long shorts cartel.
Wow, Mathis, you can hop on. I'll accept you into the Pennsylvania posse. Posse, Brian. I said posse.
Yeah, Mathis can't hop on right now because he's at Sunday services with the Golden Cougar.
You gotta love it.
Yeah. See, the problem with Mathis is that he doesn't understand marketing. When you come up with a name, you got to keep repeating it constantly and keep reinforcing it. And his problem is he keeps floating between the cartel names.
Right.
He's a floater.
Yeah. So he's weak. He's weak, but that's okay.
Hey, these don't seem to be that great of deals on me.
No. Like I said, if there was a deal on there, I would have already gotten it, but there isn't.
Is Teddy upgraded to any of his to use yet? Do we know?
Not yet.
The other day saying that they were having some kind of event coming up, or maybe it was actually a phone call, a voicemail. I was like, let us know we're having an event. Go over to Teddy's page here. Oh, look what's at the top of Teddy's page. Watch my brother. Watch I bought from.
So here's the.
I don't see anything that says used or anything here yet.
No, but the I don't think I saved the exact email. But
What are all these shitters?
here's the email that this is the
Jeez.
exact email that I got from my guy that was at Crown and Caliber
Okay.
and is now switched over. I said, congrats on the move over. Will you guys be doing pre-owned or just new?
Yeah.
And he said, thank you, Brian. For right now, we are doing exclusively new.
Hmm.
For right now, we are doing exclusively new.
Interesting.
How much is this Longines, Mark?
$31.50.
Jeez.
It's actually in person. It is a gorgeous style. This is the 39 millimeter. I have the 42, but in person, it's a beautiful watch. All the applied Arabics,
It does look nice, but 3,100. Jeez.
yeah. Well, it's it's a Longines. It's a.
Let me clear up for Genji. We're not trying to oust Mathis. We're trying to keep him as a manipulated mouthpiece.
Manipulated mouthpiece.
Yes. I like this offshore that Crown and Caliber's got for 18,000.
Yeah, let me pull that one up. Hold on. Go
Box
back
and
there.
papers.
Oh, with the brown subdial.
Yeah.
Is this like what they call the elephant, or what do they call this one? There was like a nickname for this one.
Let's see what the real people call it. Let's get the exact picture.
There's one thing that I absolutely hate about this watch. Do you know what it is?
It's not an IWC.
It's not an IWC.
All the pushers are on one side.
No, it's not even that. It's that round date window.
Well, it's also got a reverse Cyclops in it.
Oh,
the Cyclops is under the glass.
Dear God.
I think this is called the Safari.
Yes. Yeah, I knew it was something has to do with.
Yeah. And this one at 18,000 is actually about 1,000 below market.
Okay.
I'm sure you could probably get it cheaper than that.
I don't know if there's anybody to call and ask.
Yeah. They may not have very many employees left.
Yeah, George, in order to negotiate, you have to find somebody that's willing to be on the other side of the conversation.
Touche.
Fair enough.
There is one of these on eBay from a place in California that I don't trust a lot for 17.3. Can't trust those Southern Californians.
What about those Northern Californians? When are you going to trade me Ayuk?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, it's always interesting how the 49ers always find a way to shoot themselves in the foot, you know?
Why do they always? It seems like every year there is one or two disgruntled employees that they wait until the first week of the season to sign.
Let's don't pay the left guard, and let's don't pay our best wide receiver.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong this season?
Exactly.
You
paid Deebo Samuel, and he's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but is he dynamic like Ayuk is in the passing game? I don't think so. Yeah.
And their last couple of drafts haven't exactly like hit it out of the park either, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're.
If Pearsall's healthy, he looks like he might be a player. If he's healthy, he hasn't proven to be healthy so far this year.
Right. It's all I don't even think they're the best team in their division, to be honest with you. I think the Rams are actually going to win that division.
The Rams have rebuilt quickly. I thought that they were
Yeah.
done. I thought they were done,
Yeah.
and boom, right back on.
I was, what they've done is they've hit it with their drafts.
Yeah.
And that really accelerates the program if you can hit on your draft picks. And last year they hit on a lot of them. And this year, from what I've been reading, they've hit on their first and their second and all their thirds, and
Yeah.
even that wide receiver they picked in the fifth is better than most of the players that the 49ers have drafted, so.
Dirk says, I think the Steelers are going to have a rough year. Fields is the future, but he will need a year to lock into the offense. Yeah, here's the problem. I mean, it's an old adage. If you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. And
yeah,
that's the position we find ourselves in right now. The problem is the Steelers are never bad.
Well, the problem with the Steelers has always
They're
been
always
their
drafted in
offensive
the middle.
line.
Yeah, they're always drafted in the middle.
Yeah, and their draft picks haven't really panned out for a long time either, right? And their offensive line is very woeful at best. And they who was it? Dotson that was there, traded to the Rams for like a 4th round or 5th round pick, and now he's like one of the highest paid offensive tackles with the Rams.
Yeah, it's true. It's they've Broderick Jones is Fontenot. The center looks amazing from West Virginia that they got in the 2nd round. Yeah. Zach, whatever his name is. I think they've really addressed a lot for the offensive line, that if it can gel, so they should be able to do something, especially with Arthur Smith. He's a running game kind of guy. But the problem with the Steelers, the biggest problem with the Steelers is this. They may have the best defense in the NFL. They have the most expensive defense in the NFL. They've spent the most money on defense in the NFL. The NFL is not a defensive league anymore. The NFL is an offense league. The rules are geared towards the offense. They want scoring. That's why when the Steelers are a middling team that makes it into the playoffs, they end up getting blown out in the playoffs because they're going up against great offensive teams.
Well, the other problem with the Steelers is they're in a really tough division.
Yeah. But
Very
I think
difficult
they've beaten Baltimore 9 of the last 10 meetings, I think. Baltimore is normally the class of the division. But you've got Joe Burrow, and then Cleveland's another team with a great defense and no quarterback.
Sorry, Jen, but Cleveland sucks.
Yeah, I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Cleveland sucks. They spent all that money on their quarterback, and he's a bust. He's been a bust since he's been there. So unless he's going to have some sort of breakout year, he was hurt. He's hurt again. His arm's hurt again. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that dude. But everything's geared towards offense, and the Steelers want to play old school, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and play defense, which is great in the regular season. But if you get to the playoffs, you're not going to do much with that. And then they're always like Tomlin has never had a losing season.
But you know what, though, Mark? I'm going to take a little bit of the other side of that. Okay. I think in the winter, when winter comes along, January and February, I think you need to have a good D and, just running the ball. You don't need to pass 30, 40 times a game, when you have minus 20 degrees.
They're not hosting any of these playoff games. They're going on the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but most of the games will be at Baltimore, or it'll be, up north. It's not going to be in the South, most likely, right?
And then they got two quarterbacks. I mean, I don't know. I don't have high hopes this year.
like I said, I had
I won't be burning my Steelers gear, but I really kind of hope that they go 1-16 and just have an amazing.
I'm gonna tell you something. I live in the land, or used to. I still live in the land of Russell Wilson, where he had his greatest rise to fame, and there's still a lot of people here who revere him like quite a bit. Yeah. They keep thinking he got the shaft and this and that, but I mean, there was years with the Seahawks where he had nothing to work with, and he took them to the playoffs. So
he was an amazing quarterback for a number of years. Now he's kind of an average quarterback, and he's average and not very tall. His wheels aren't what they used to be.
I just think like you have to have the right quarterback coach, and I know he was with Peyton last year. I don't know if they've ever meshed, but I mean, like if he was working with Shanahan or with McVay or the guy up in Minnesota, I just think the results would be so much better. Same thing with Fields.
Yeah. Well, I have more hope for Fields with the Steelers. I think his legs bring a little bit of a dynamic that we haven't had here since Cordell Stewart, probably. And they have he's good with the deep ball, but he needs to get that intermediate passing game is where he's not very good, and he fumbles a lot.
All right, Mark, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Your most overrated team going into this season in the NFL and your most underrated team going into the 2024 season.
Most overrated team would be the Dallas Cowboys.
That you can say that every year, so shut up.
Right. And the most underrated?
The most underrated team would be the Atlanta Falcons.
The Dirty Birds?
The Dirty Birds have done a lot this offseason. They have done a ton. I think they're going to have a decent year.
Brian, are you into football? And if you do you have an overrated, underrated team?
So I don't spend all year long following what everybody does, but I do like a good Sunday afternoon where I can get caught up on what's going on or watch a good Monday game. I don't have a clue.
Okay.
I have a football problem though this year.
What's that?
It was easy living in Charlotte. We had the Carolina Panthers. We knew that they were going to suck, except for the one year that I had to go to a football game and they were 10-0 and the tickets were outrageous and they screwed me. But I'm 3 hours from Miami, an hour and a half from Tampa, or 2.5 hours from Jacksonville. So whichever team's doing the best, that's going to be my favorite.
That'll be your team.
Can I tell you, I think the most overrated team year after year after year, the Buffalo Bills. Every year, they always seem to say, "Oh, they're going to challenge the Chiefs or the Ravens or somebody else." They always find a way to choke it. So I'll stick with them. I'm going to say the most underrated team this year. I'm going to say this, Brian, with all due respect. I think it's going to be the Carolina Panthers. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
What, by actually winning more than 2 games? Sure.
How can you not? Exactly.
How can you not?
Can you not? Right.
Well, the greatest trades ever was that deal they did with Chicago, because I think Chicago got like 9 first-round draft picks. And
Yep.
Stupid team.
Yeah.
Well, it was a bad pick. They picked the wrong guy.
Yeah. But you don't know, right? You don't know. That's the beauty of the NFL. Nothing is written in stone. Everybody thought last year the Rams weren't even going to get 5 wins, and look at what happened, right? 10 wins and almost beat the Lions, right? So anything can happen.
Father Artifact, good to see you as well. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Always love them. Kyle D, I have a question for you. So Kyle D says Tudor is not entry level, but I beg to differ a little bit there. But my question to you is, what do you think of the trade where the Penguins and Winnipeg Jets swapped top prospects?
I'm going to go see the Penguins today.
Not the Pittsburgh Penguins, though.
No, we're going to SeaWorld for a concert tonight, and the Penguin exhibit's really cold.
Yes.
That's my other problem with living here and football is that when football's on, the weather is perfect for being outside here. So why would I want to be sitting in front of a TV?
It's true. It's true.
Well, Brian, you're really close to my favorite hockey team, the Lightning.
That is the only NHL game I've ever been to, is a Lightning game in 1999.
There's nothing like a Lightning game.
Nothing like,
especially like a Lightning game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There, Mark, I'm going to put a watch in the private chat that you can put up on the screen, and people can talk me out of buying it.
All right. I'm going to end the poll here.
Well, there was a poll. I didn't even see it.
Best entry level GMT.
Mark's got 900 things going on in the chat.
Looks like the Black Bay GMT with 54% is our runaway winner over the Longines Spirit Zulu time with 35%. And the Mito and the Baltic both came in with 6% of the vote. 52 people voting. Appreciate the votes.
Hey, did you guys see Kyle's appearance on, I forgot which channel it was, but he did a spreadsheet with clothing stock, with clothes and watches. Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh, that was really cool. I wish he'd come back on and do that one more time, because I have a few suggestions for him, but I need to see the spreadsheet again.
Yeah. Well, Kyle D's show in general, when he runs when he does his little thing, it was on the Colony. But he does every once in a while, he'll do a little live stream on his own. They're always good. But his whiskey shows are always really good. They're always really good.
Along with
if you guys are not subscribed to Kyle D, please let me pull up a link for him here. Hold on.
The same with Logan's grilling snips. Those are pretty good too.
Logan's grilling stuff is always great. But let me pull up. Let me grab Kyle's link here. What's his YouTube link?
I must say, Kyle does know his fashion, because I kind of consider myself to be fashionally aware of things, and he's pretty on top of his stuff.
Yes. Guys, I just put the link in the chat for Kyle D's YouTube channel. He's beyond interesting on the things, his topics, and I think you'll enjoy it. So Kyle says Chevy worked his magic. That's the GM for the Winnipeg Jets. That kid was a malcontent, and he has never even played. Have fun in the rebuild when Sid is retired soon. Yeah, it's coming. You got Sid, Malkin, and Letang are all got a couple years.
You know, your Penguins had some great runs there with going back to Mario Lemieux to Yager to Sid Crosby, Letang, and
it's hard.
Oh my God! Yeah, what a great run you guys had.
You know, since 1990, they've won 5 Stanley Cups. It's hard to complain. Right. You know what I mean? It's living in Pittsburgh is like a wealth of riches, an overabundance in some ways with sports. Even though the Pirates stink, they won two titles in my lifetime. The Penguins have won 5 Stanley Cups. The Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls. Penn State's won 2 national championships. I mean, it's hard to complain. Yeah.
For me, it's going to be really hard to see the captain, Steven Stamkos in a Predators uniform.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Talk about.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird.
That's gonna be awful. And of all teams, the Predators.
Johnny O says he enjoyed being in a Lightning game when the Blackhawks clinched the cup. Johnny O, do you want to know who? Do you remember who scored the cup-winning goal?
Hang on, because you said it.
I did.
Tell them what they've won.
Tell them what
Johnny
they
O.
won, Johnny O. Do you remember who scored the cup clinching goal against the Lightning that year, George?
I don't want to remember it.
All right. Johnny O, do you remember? There's only one reason I remember. The kid's from Pittsburgh. Brandon Saad.
I just remember this Blackhawks. I remember the Kings Blackhawks from like 2012 to 2014, those series.
Yes.
It was the Kings would win the Stanley Cup one year, and then the Blackhawks, then the Kings. And look, they had some. Who were? There are two players. I'm drawing a blank on the Blackhawks.
It was
Jordan. God, I can see their faces too, and I can't remember their name.
Yeah, it was what the heck is his name?
One plays for the Rangers now, I think.
Yeah, that's Kane. God. That's Kane plays for the Rangers.
Yeah.
What was the number 19? Jonathan Taves.
Taves, yeah.
Yeah.
Good players.
And the other
players,
one, the other one who got forced into early retirement because of some kind of weird disease was.
Wasn't it Jonathan Taves?
No. It was 81. They played for the Penguins one year. They traded for him the year before they won the cup when they made it to the finals. What the heck was his name? He wore 81. Shit, I can't remember his name. But he got he's a Marion Hossa. Thank you, Brody.
Yeah, I remember Duncan Keith. Yeah, I remember him. I couldn't stand him.
Cheap Shark.
I forgot who the
Cutter.
Yeah. Who was their goaltender? I can't remember who the hell their goaltender was.
Crawford.
I know it was
Corey Crawford.
Yes, I remember him and Jonathan Quick would have some pretty good battles back in the 2000s there. Some good games.
Hockey's the game where they skate around and chase after the little black thing, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, those were some good teams, good times. Good times. All right, Brian, do you really want me to pull this watch up? Because I looked at it.
Oh, God. This must be something special.
Guys, I want to just say that I in no way endorse what I am about to show on the screen.
For those of you who are under the age of 21, you might want to leave the stream right now.
For those of you that have more than an IQ of 21, you might want to leave the stream right now. But I
you like this?
God, stop it! It's like you and that stupid 5-headed IWC.
The Aqua Timer.
Yeah,
the Aqua Timer is much better than this watch.
No.
Pull it up, Mark. Let's see it.
All right, here we go. Everyone, like, if you have sunglasses, you might want to put those on. If you have a blind dog, you might want to have him watch instead.
You know, even your blind dog would laugh at this, but go ahead. I still like it.
Oh.
The Big Bang Unico titanium diamond. Oh, no.
Brian was sitting really close to me at our Las Vegas get together, and I blame myself for this.
Oh, do you?
Oh.
Why?
Oh.
What did you do?
Oh, man. You know, I love diamonds, but I just don't love diamonds on this thing. Oh, God.
So
why, Brian? Why?
There's a part of me that thinks that I'm somewhat kind of flashy or wants to be somewhat kind of flashy. And I'm looking at this, and I've tried a couple of this case size on before, and it fits me well. And I'd get the white. This has got the quick change strap, so I could order the white strap for it or the red strap for it, and just be a little flashy, trashy.
Brian, who is the kindest, most least controversial person that you know in the watch community? Father Artifact. Father Artifact and Dear Artifact. And Father Artifact just wrote one word. Hideous.
Brian, weren't you looking at the rainbow version of this thing?
I love that rainbow version. But the lowest price I've seen on it's like 48,000, and I'm not willing to spend that much money on a watch that I'd wear like 5 times a year. But this one for like 10 or 11, I'm sitting here looking at it going,
Jesus.
I'm looking at a lawsuit now. Look at all the suit.
I'm looking at this going, maybe.
Brian, I think that all that swamp fumes have got to you now. Forget your pipe fumes. It's all that swamp.
So if I do buy it, it might be the one watch that I never show on a stream.
I like autos.
Yeah, I'd rather amputate my left wrist.
That'd work for me because I'd wear it on my right wrist anyway.
That's true.
Do we even know if those are real diamonds or are they fake or artificial, or are they call those lab grown?
Oh, I don't care. I'm not eating them, so what does it matter?
Kyle D says that's unfortunate. Sad end to a legendary career.
Well, I was just thinking at the very least, you could break those diamonds down and maybe get a few cents on the dollar.
I think the labor to take the diamonds out would negate the value of the diamonds.
Yeah.
Why, Brian? Why?
I don't claim to be well adjusted.
Uh,
I bought a solid gold Breguet and put a rubber strap on it. I mean, come on.
Genji is suggesting that you need to be quarantined from the Florida crew. We can't let this virus spread.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess this is what years of pipe smoking can do.
No, this is what years of not looking in a mirror can do.
And you mock me for the aqua timer.
Yep. But then at the end of all the mocking, I sit there and go, but if you love it, go ahead and get it.
What is the MSRP on something like this, Brian?
Outrageously stupid.
Are we looking like 40, 50?
No, I think they're like 27, 28. Let me see if I can come close to finding that information for you. I don't think Hublot even wants to say 25.2. Yeah. Imagine being the idiot that pays retail for this.
I mean, it looks better this one.
I mean, the pictures don't,
Yeah.
I'd get a white strap and a red strap. Play around with that white and red.
Is that a mirror? Does it come with a mirror?
No, that's a porthole, so you can see how beautiful it looks in the box.
Because that's where it should stay.
No. But with that porthole, it should be face down in the box.
And at the bottom of the ocean.
Wait, it is water resistant to 100 meters.
Look at
Let's
that.
go test it.
And the Unico does have the El Primero movement in it.
There you go.
Funny story. I was at South Coast Plaza a year or two back, and I walked into the Hublot AD, and just to see.
Were you lost?
Well, it was like crunched between, I believe at the time, it was crunched between Panerai and JLC. So I walked in, and I was looking at this, and the guy, showed me all these watches, and one of them reminded me of an RM, and I told him, I said, "Hey, this kind of looks like an RM, doesn't it?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, but if you save $200,000." That was his sales point.
Ah,
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of funny. But
Yeah.
you walk through it and you see it. It's like they have watches that look like RM. They have watches that look like Bell and Ross. They have watches that look like AP. Then now they have watches that look like Heuer.
Oh, John Claude Beaver came out and said, "Oh, the Hublot Big Bang, yeah, it looks like the Nautilus and the Royal Oak. So what?" And then he went then went over to Zenith and said, "Yeah, so what?"
So what?
Yeah.
Let's make all these look like other stuff.
Yeah.
Logan says it comes with a mirror because if you look at the watch directly, you will turn to stone. And Otto says if you put a brown paper bag on it, it will look fine.
Guaranteed not to get robbed.
Yeah.
Gen G says they should be paying you to take this atrocity out of their vicinity.
Wow.
On that note, I'm going to hop off. So, Brian, my good friend from Florida, the true OG of the watch community, have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Lucha, well, what can I say?
George, always great to have.
Wishing your Steelers a good season, my friend. Not
Well,
too good, but a good season. But
I literally want them to fail miserably this year.
you don't. You don't ever wish.
I
that
need
on
a
your
bad
team.
draft. I need them to draft high.
Let me tell you something. You could be an Arizona Cardinals fan. You could be. Sorry, Brian, close your ears, but a Panthers fan. You could be a Patriots fan. You could be, a lot of these teams that never make the playoffs, and you got to give it to Tomlin. He's a hell of a coach.
He is.
Hell of a coach.
And he's probably the best soundbite in coaching.
Yep. You know where you stand with him, and I respect that. So you'll have a good season, I think. I think you'll have a pretty good season.
They will. It'll be just good enough, and then it'll just be. I am a Massachusetts kid originally. I moved here when I was 10, and nobody liked the Patriots back then. Nobody cared.
George, just before you leave, I did read through the official description of this watch on the mayors.com website, and there is no mention whatsoever of any kind of cut or quality or carat weight of any of the diamonds. It just says diamonds.
It says diamonds.
That should tell you a lot. Anyways, have a good day, gentlemen. Take care.
All right, George. Thanks for coming on.
Mark, great stream as always. Take care, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, how terrible. Brian, that's unconscionable.
I still like it. I don't give a shit what you losers.
I have to lose it. We do not. We do not want anyone looking at this anymore.
I think I may send him a best offer.
It's so bad. Oh my God. Is it so bad that it's good? I don't know. Or is it just so bad?
Yeah, no, I just imagine myself wearing, like a black t-shirt and jeans and that, and walk around with, a few chest hairs coming out of the top of the t-shirt or something.
There you go. Genji says that those diamonds are GIA certified. Logan says he'd probably get it for about $2,000. Oh man, that's terrible. That's hard to look at, Brian.
I like it. You guys suck. I don't care.
The link is in the chat. Let's see. Whoopsie. I lost it. There it is.
Maybe if I buy that, they'll give me one of those free Hummer EVs.
Ooh. I've been driving a Wrangler 4xe hybrid.
How you doing, Lucha?
Good, Nathan. How are you?
Good.
Uh,
Do you see in the private chat what I could win?
Yeah, the TISO.
yeah.
The TISO PR 100.
There you go. Well, I wish you luck.
That's I enter their website.
Yeah. Very cool.
Hopefully.
Bezels.
And if I do not win, I'll buy me one. Because
Yeah.
it looks kind of cool.
Nathan, your audio is really burping.
I'm using my headset,
Okay.
on my phone.
What's up, Bezels? Hey, Bezels, thank you so much for the donation to the American Diabetes Association Step Out to Stop Diabetes Walk that I will be completing on September 7th. Yeah,
Mark with the donations that I got from my little unboxing thing, and then the overmatching that I did, we ended up doing $5,300 to
nice
breakthrough type 1 JDRF, the stupid people in their name change.
Yeah, that's it's a pain. Yeah, you can say, oh, it's a horrible disease. You can live with it. It's just a pain in the ass. This is what it is. And it's really hard on kids. As Brian, you know, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard. It's just, it's hard from having it and having to give yourself injections and do all that stuff. It's hard from how other kids who can be mean treat you. It's hard from understanding, and it's hard from just how you have to change everything you do. You have to think about so much stuff and do so much math. I hate math. You have to do so much math when you're a type 1 diabetic.
Mathing hurts.
Mathing is hard.
Yeah. So it's a wonder you went into sales.
I know, right?
I do a lot of math with investing. How much I would make if I would buy this item.
Yeah.
In the long run.
So we've got 24 people still watching this. Even after Brian's watch, there's still 24 people out there. 36 upvotes. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do. That's one of the factors that we'll be going into whether we'll be continuing the Sunday morning streams. Brian, what do you think?
Oh, shut up. You're going to continue them.
Oh, shut up. You're going to continue them. In the chat. Actually, you know what? I'll make a poll. We'll just make a poll.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Waste your time making a poll.
All right. Well, it's a good poll.
I'm going to manipulate it anyway.
Well,
Nathan, call all your friends in Missouri. Tell them to get on this poll and vote the way I tell them to.
Here's what I'm wearing.
Nathan knows about voting, so we'll just manipulate it. Ooh, there's a white version of that watch with a white subdial and white ceramic inserts.
I'm not even listening to you.
La, 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 la.
All right, guys, there is a new poll in the chat. What the heck was that noise?
Teddy wants you to chat with him to buy that watch.
Yeah, I see that. I already bought that watch from you, Dave. Well, I bought the 42 millimeter. I would think the hardest part for a kid with diabetes is seeing their friends eat ice cream and pizza. So the hardest part is you can adjust your insulin for anything you're intaking, but to do that all the time really wears on your body. So you have to pick your shots. Like I don't drink carbs. So I just don't. It's not worth it for me to use my carbs on soda or stuff like that. So I don't.
Listen, it is in a much smaller scale. It's some of the life choices that I've made is because I smoke and because I enjoy 4 or 5 good cups of coffee a day. I really don't eat anything else or do anything else that's bad for me.
Yeah.
I may have a small dessert thing every 3 days, but everything else is pretty much a beneficial, decent quality food and intake. You just have to modify your life choices. And unfortunately, with type 1 diabetes, it usually affects kids ages 6 to 12 is when they get diagnosed.
Okay.
And they really don't understand life choices. Yeah. So you just have to moderate and put it in balance.
I make my own sodas, so mine is more healthier than the store-bought ones.
Yeah.
I use a certain sugar that is better for you.
Better sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Better sugar.
We actually did a little. I did a little experiment with my daughter and her blood sugar when she was in high school, and gave her a drink that had 2 pouches of processed white sugar, and we watched her blood sugar go up from it.
Yeah.
And then I gave her a couple days later. We did it over time. A couple of the same drink with 2 pouches of the brown raw sugar.
Okay.
Sugar in the raw, and watched her blood sugars. And the sugar in the raw didn't have as dramatic of a spike as the processed white sugar did.
Did it carry out longer?
Yeah, it was a longer, slower hump.
Okay.
But
what I used is like coconut palm sugar.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things. That's why peanut butter crackers are a great snack for a low blood sugar diet. Like if your blood sugar is a little bit lower, because the cracker part gives you a little bit of a spike in your sugar to get you feeling a little better. But the peanut butter, the protein makes it carries it out a little bit longer time.
Yep. Fast carbs versus sticky carbs.
Yes.
And then another thing is there's also fake cinnamon out there too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because what you see in the store, the ground up cinnamon, is actually fake cinnamon and it's harmful for you.
Yeah. Thomas Burnett says, I've just donated $30 to your charity. Thank you so much, Thomas Burnett. We do appreciate it. To get me to $11.50. Plus, we got a match. We got a little bit of matching money coming from last week, and then the dealership's going to make a donation too. I appreciate that. But come on, everyone. Mark is not monetized. You can't super chat. Please donate to keep his stream going.
Mark, I'd like you to take notice that 2 YouTube watch legends, Thomas Burnett and Muhammad Ali, both in a row, just stated you have to stay. Therefore, case closed. End of discussion. There will be no further discussion. You will be here Sunday morning.
You gotta do 24-hour show.
Yeah.
24 hours a day. Muhammad Ali, thank you so much. He says we need Lucha Medic Mark every week Sunday. We go through this thing. How is this channel not monetized? I just never monetized it. You have to apply for that stuff. I have all the criteria. I just never really did it. And if I did, it would be a charity thing. Dirk Diggler's, he changed his name. Dirk Diglock. So he's in lockstep with the original OC, I see. He says, I was on a cruise with a family seated at my table for dinner. The husband had type 1 diabetes, and he looked pretty healthy. In in the dinner he took insulin before he was eating everything. Yeah, because you don't make insulin, so you have to take it. But then he says, oh, the next day at the gym, I saw his wife and he had to go to the med because his glucose dropped so low. It can happen, especially exercise. If you don't carb up for exercise, your glucose can drop real fast. So funny thing, and Brian, you know this. High blood sugar will kill you, but normally that's over time. Low blood sugar can kill you in an instant.
Yes.
If you're not careful.
We've experienced that twice that I know of.
Yeah.
2 different ambulance rides.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tough deal. It's a tough deal. Hazel says Brian has a good point.
Oh, clip that. I don't know what it was, but just clip it.
I think that was about keeping the Sunday shows going.
Oh, yes, about the 2 internet watch YouTube legends making the statement, therefore it's true. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah. It happens way too often, Kyle D. That's why last week when we were doing the EDC stream, I was showing you some of my medic alert bracelets. I will throw one of those on when I'm going out, especially if we're going to be out at bars and stuff like that, because a couple times a year I read an article about some poor diabetic that got the crap beat out of him by the police because they thought he was a belligerent drunk and really he just had really low blood sugar.
Wait. So do you mean to tell me you're not wearing a medic alert bracelet or a medic alert identification right now of any kind whatsoever?
No.
Yeah, fuck it. Kill the show. Who cares? Just end it. Just go ahead and end it. Go ahead. It's done. It's done. It's yeah. Are you wearing a CGM of any kind that would identify it?
No, Brian, I have one on.
No, are you wearing a CGM?
I have been CGM-less for the last couple of months. I just have been pricking my fingers.
We now return to our Sunday service where we remember fondly our good friend Mark. He had to leave us because of stupidity, but we still love him.
It's true.
Fond memories.
I'll go back to them in the pump here in a couple months.
Unfortunately for Mark, his blind dog had more sense than he did.
Well, he's a very sensible dog.
Yeah. What happens when Sherman goes to call 911 because something's wrong with you, and then they come in and they can't figure out what's wrong with you?
Well, they can't. The problem is that Sherman can't read the address.
Sherman knows everything.
Poor Sherman. I still feel bad for the day he had on Wednesday, the morning he had on Wednesday.
What Sherman didn't tell you is that he's pissed on all your breakfasts since then just to get even with you.
I make good breakfasts. Make homemade White Castles.
Yeah, that's not breakfast. That's going to put you on the road to type 2 diabetes.
Homemade? I use like natural ingredients.
Hey, look, it's James Hess. How are you, James? I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope everything is good in Stuttgart. And he's reminding everyone to upvote.
What's upvoting?
I use hope.
Basil's, oh yeah, because this is true. This is, his buddy had an incident like that. EMTs were about to give him Narcan, but he mumbled something about orange juice. Yeah. If you're by yourself and people, or with people that don't know, you need to be identified.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, it's really hard to wear one of those rubber bracelets that says, medic alert type 1. It's really hard to wear one of those on you. It's really painful. Oh, you got a fancy metal one too. But the rubber ones are really hard to wear, and they cost like $3, and you can buy them in a 6-pack and different colors, and it's really hard to wear one of those, Mark. I'm just saying.
I do.
I know.
I'm slipping into intense dad mode here.
I've also got this one, but on the back of these, it's printed, because I also have a penicillin allergy. It has my woes and an emergency contact number. White Castle is the breakfast of champions, says Logan Hall. Logan Hall's making his own White Castle, so they're not even. So it's probably a little bit healthier than a regular White Castle, but not much for breakfast.
Yeah. Here, Mark, let's cheer people up and go back to the watch I want to buy.
Okay. I'm not going back to that watch.
I'll send you here. Let me get a link for another one that I really like.
Okay.
Just to further abuse the audience.
Oh, jeez. Logan Hall, you've been forewarned. You already know what's going to happen to your equipment. You can't sue me for this next one because it's just,
We will all wish we are Sherman after seeing this one. Go ahead. There it is. I like this one too.
Oh, dear Lord. Really?
I did.
You want me to show this to people?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right. Everybody who has really good screens and equipment, just make sure you just watch this one on your phone, maybe.
I will warn everybody, it is white ceramic, so parts of it don't show so well in the photos.
Ugh. Why, Brian? Why?
I'm telling you, there's still a part of me inside that thinks I'm young and fashionable, of those two, I was only actually really ever young.
Yeah.
But
you know what you could do with this? You should wear this on Ali Rosin's string.
You're really burping there, Nathan.
Oh, sorry.
Cal D, that says that one's better than the last, way better than the last one, he says.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's a part of me.
Is that really, better than the last one, way better than the last one? Is that really what we're going for? Is that the ultimate mark that we're trying to hit?
Poor Mark is speechless. So if I'm
not a Hublot hater. I in general I don't hate Hublot. But
so if I were to get this one, I would then sell my my Lariato black ceramic. So that would be.
So you would sell a good-looking watch to buy this.
Whatever you say.
Treble says you need to get your eyes tested.
Yeah, I am due for new glasses and an eye exam. Yeah, I am due for an eye exam.
Hey, you should wear it in front of Ali Resin.
Logan Hall now needs to buy a new computer because he just threw his out the window.
and the worst part of it is it landed on a rack of ribs that he's grilling and ruined those.
Oh, Kyle D says he's done some research. He'll be in Las Vegas next week. Omegas and Longines are now cheaper in Canada, even after the exchange. That is wild. Yeah. Now, can you find them? My problem with Longines, and I love Longines. I've always been a Longines fan. The only place that carries Longines in Pittsburgh is a place called Henny Jewelers, and they carry like 5 of them. They don't even have them in the case. You have to ask to see the tray. It's so bizarre. They just don't carry any. That's why I ended up buying that Zulu time from Teddy. One of the reasons. And they're hard to find to get a look at. Dirk Diglock says, Brian, it's 2024. We are a more welcoming and open-minded world.
Yes, we are.
And
remember, I live in Florida now, so it's okay to be bright, colorful, and a little bit trashy.
Yes, but Logan says after you get your eyes fixed, you'll understand the mistakes you're making with these Hublots.
Oh, fuck it. I'm going to buy both of them. Just to piss you assholes off.
Hey, check out my chat.
Yes.
Thanks.
And Dirk says it must be the water in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Kyle D, my brother has my Zulu time. I bought it when it a few months after it came out, and there was none of them in stock anywhere because it was the green bezel with the charcoal dial, and it's a beautiful watch. My brother borrowed it to wear to a wedding, and I haven't seen it in almost a year now. But I still love it. I still go look at that watch every once in a while. Like, should I just buy another one? Because it's hard to tell my brother, oh, I want that. He can't afford it. I'm happy that he's not wearing an Apple Watch or something. I don't know. I just don't know. Ali Reza doesn't like Hublots.
Let's see. That'd be so funny to see his reaction to it.
Let's see if we can find a good-looking Hublot. Johnny O has a suggestion. Let me look this sucker up. It's the Hublot Mecha 10. Let's see what this looks like. Yes, even as a diabetic, I'll eat your cookies. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't hate that as much as the ones that Brian has shown. I like this Black Magic one. Well, Brian, why don't you get one of these?
It's too black.
It's too black.
Too black.
Well, how about this one?
Boring. It's not trashy.
It's not trashy.
Don't wear trashy watches in front of Reza. It would be funny to see his reactions.
Yeah, every once in a while I do stuff just for me and not for all you frickers in the audience. You know.
Just invite Ali Reza to your stream, Brian.
Yeah.
Whenever you show him that.
I gotta mute you for a little bit, Nathan. Your audio is really burping bad.
Wait, is that the world famous tap boom boom tap?
I believe that is Tap 1999, formerly the Awesome Paula.
Yeah.
Good to see him in the chat. He says he was a good watch pre-owned.
Yeah, I ain't buying it new. Fuck that. See, you get all these people coming into your chat and you want to kill this. Great. Fantastic.
Great. Brilliant.
You're the reason the Steelers haven't won another Super Bowl because you're like, we won 5, 6, whatever. We'll just quit now. We'll stop doing it. Fine. Yeah. You know, we did great. We're done.
We are.
In fact, that just shut down the team. Just close it.
Yeah, we've been on the stairway to 7 for quite some time, if you will.
How many have 6?
The Steelers and the Patriots.
How many have 5?
I believe the Cowboys and the Niners.
And the Steelers and the Patriots?
6.
Yeah, well, the Steelers and the Patriots have 5 as well.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you know, that's the old joke of how many months have 28 days in them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
App says the Steelers are cooked. They have Russell Wilson. We have no quarterback. We have 2 quarterbacks, which means we have none.
Hey,
0.
You could have tried to resurrect Cam Newton again.
Oh God. Cam Newton's career was finished when he didn't jump on that fumble in the Super Bowl. His legacy took such a hit for that. I don't know if it's fair.
Cam Newton's career was finished when after the first season when they figured out he had a glass jaw. Just pop him in the face once and you're done.
Johnny O says they're cooked because they have Justin Fields. I would rather Justin Fields than Russell Wilson. At least he can run. I don't expect much out of either one of them. Neither one of them signed beyond this year. Neither one of them is costing them this much this year. I'm hoping literally that we go 1-16 and get to draft high.
I think my former team, the Carolina Panthers, will screw you out of that.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Oh, but don't worry, they had to give it to Chicago for some limp-wristed player that they got.
Yeah, he's not. Hopefully, he can resurrect his career a little bit, but it's hard. It's hard to beat Carolina with Bryce Young, knowing what C.J. Stroud, the next pick, did. And the Texans were so mad they fired their coach for winning that last game and not getting the first pick, and they ended up the big winners. So,
see, this is the part of football that I enjoy. I can tune in on a Sunday and watch one of the hour-long Sunday pregame shows.
Yes.
And get caught up on everything that I really need to know.
Yeah.
And then watch the games informed and learn during the games, and then forget about the games for a week. And then come back next Sunday and do the same thing over again. Or in my case, what I really do, or what I used to do, is really just kind of forget about the first half of the season because my daughter was in marching band, or we were busy doing stuff, or things were going on with work, and then you get to middle of November and everything would stop, and then I could watch football in November, December, and then the playoffs in January and the Super Bowl in February.
There you go. Trouble, most games you can get tickets for a couple $100 these days. It's expensive, but like the Steelers, or you have to buy them mainly. You have to buy them on the secondary market because they have a waiting list for season tickets that's 30 years long.
That's what we call in the market no incentive to improve the product when you're already sold out.
Yeah. Watch out for the Panthers. Unrestricted free agent Jalen Coker. Tap says, why do all the NFL teams in the South suck? The Titans, Falcons, Panthers. The Dolphins are okay. They're in the South. I think the Falcons are going to have a good year. I like what they did in the offseason. I was curious about drafting a first-round quarterback after signing Kirk Cousins, but the other things that they've done, I really like the moves they made. They shored up the defense a little bit. They have a lot of weapons on offense that they just never used because they didn't have a quarterback. So we'll see what happens there. Kyle D says the CFL is better because their balls are bigger. I like it. We got Buckley in the chat. What's happening, Buckley? How are you, sir? Always good to see.
You need to ban Buckley because unfortunately yesterday I started to completely 100% agree with him on stuff. So
geez,
it's probably the reason why I'm really thinking about these Hublots again.
Buckley's got you thinking about diamond encrusted Hublots. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm just saying that my my thought processes are askew recently.
Okay. So, Trouble, the problem with NFL games and the pricing of tickets is that it's a short season. Even though they've expanded it to 17 games, you don't have a lot of home games to choose from. You have 8 or 9. Basil's Bezel says Doug Flutie was a CFL legend. Yeah, he was. He was an NFL legend and a college legend. Doug Flutie, for a short guy, had a great career. was not your typical size for a quarterback, but he understood the game. You know, part of being a quarterback is the cerebral part of it, and he had that down, and he could move. Georgia Tech last second field goal to defeat Florida State yesterday. A good deal. A good deal. Huxley says, I'm thinking about a black Explorer 2. We all have issues. Would this be your third or fourth Explorer 2? Because you've had the white one a few times, right? At least twice, if not 3 times. I'm trying to remember. It's hard to remember everyone's watches. I like the black one. I like the Explorer. I prefer the Explorer 1 to the Explorer 2. But I like the size of the Explorer 2. I don't like the fact that bezel is stainless and doesn't rotate.
That's why I ended up moving on my Explorer 2 when I got into the GMT Masters.
Yeah. That's my only issue with the watch. It looks like it's not quite finished. Huh?
Let's see if anybody still has any eyeballs left, or if I burned all the retinas with this one that I just put in there.
Oh God. Buckley says, yeah, I had the white, never tried on the black. The black was fantastic. I don't know how it fell through the cracks. Oh, in general, black dial watches are pretty nice. You know what I mean? It's hard to beat a black dial watch. What am I pulling up now? I'm almost afraid to click this. Because I have to see these before you guys. And this is truly, oh God, guys, I can't apologize enough for what's about to happen. All right. I just can't.
Wait, before you do that, why don't you check the poll and see how the voting's going on, whether or not you should kill this morning streams?
Well, somebody thinks I suck.
That was you.
No, so 7% of the people say I suck.
That was one vote.
It's 30 votes. 93% says yes, I love them. 7% say no, Lucha sucks.
That's you and your poll account, Jeep of Pittsburgh.
I didn't vote. I'm a non-voter. I'm a non-voting member. So see, yeah, there are some people who think that this sucks. I think it's weird that they came over here. Maybe they just knew there was a poll. What do you think? We got 42 upvotes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, so oh geez.
This is not the exact one.
Tap says link for voter fraud.
This is not the exact one that I really like. I like the Unico rounder one better of this model, but this one would do at that price.
Again, I need to preface this with a sincere apology. Logan Hall, this will be the death.
In fact, hold on a minute. Let's have Logan Hall let's make sure that Logan is on the first floor of where he lives so that he doesn't jump out a window or...
Yeah, Logan, we need you to be on the ground, or at least the ground floor.
Ground floor on a couch with a phone nearby.
Make sure that the weapons are all locked up. Do not have access to the kitchen where there are knives, because this is going to be painful. It's the only way I can describe it is that this is going to be painful. I haven't gotten over it, and I only looked at it for one fleeting second.
The second and third image of it on the eBay listing are much better than the first one.
Yeah, all right, guys, here it is. The Spirit of Big Bang titanium rainbow watch. These are the lows that we've fallen to. You guys say you want these streams to continue, and yet this is the garbage I'm giving you.
I'm watching the viewer count to see if it drops. It went up. It went up 1. It went up 2.
Mm.
I'm still
Al
watching.
B says, "Oh dear Lord." Johnny O, this watch is deplorable.
No, look at Gen G's comment.
Oh, look at that. A unicorn took a dump on a trap.
I just want you to know your viewer count went up 3 since pulling this watch up.
Because people can't believe that somebody would show this watch on the live stream. I can't believe that YouTube will allow me to show this watch on a live stream. And if I show a speed loader for a 9mm magazine, I get banned.
Do you know that if I talk about my enjoyment of the pipe and show it too much on a live stream, that live stream could get demonetized, blocked, and banned?
Damn.
Yeah.
At 2:45 a.m. How can you do this to me? It's Brian keeps giving me these watches to show and then demands that I show them to you. It's terrible. Treble says you need to see a doctor immediately. Treble says sometimes I'm sorry I watch YouTube on my TV. Dingo, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. It's so terrible. Oh, God. How bad is that watch, Brian? Why? What is it about it that makes you think that that would be a good idea in any stretch of the imagination?
I'd like to say that I still think of myself as somewhat flashy and trashy, and I never was, but I still think of myself as somewhat that way. And I think some of these watches would be fun to own if you're just wearing, just a black t-shirt and jeans.
Brian, we are at 9% Lucha sucks.
I got you 2% more by showing this.
I don't know, Brian. Looks like mixed messages to me.
Yeah, 9%.
Oh my, what are we gonna do? 33 votes. Yeah.
Yeah, Dingo Dave, if you wore this watch while programming one of your construction signs, you wouldn't have to wear a safety vest because everybody would see you in the dark.
It's true. Unfortunately true. But that watch is deplorable. It's terrible. A horrible piece.
Yeah.
Where are we at here? We got 10 more minutes, and then I got to start getting ready to go meet my friend Jen and her daughter.
Yeah. And we are going to SeaWorld today for a concert.
Nice. Who are you going to see?
This week is my wife's choice, and we are going to see Tracy Byrd.
Don't know who that is.
It's a country singer that was apparently really popular in the 90s and early 2000s.
Fair enough.
Last week we went and we saw what's left of Quiet Riot.
Oh, I saw Quiet Riot when the Mental Health was a big deal when that album came out back in
83.
Yeah. They were fun in concert. Do you know the interesting little tidbit fact of Quiet Riot?
I know who founded it.
Who founded it?
It was a very young guitar player from Burbank, California, named Randy Rhoads.
Absolutely.
Randy and a drummer, and then they found Kevin Dubrow.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Rudy Sarzo
on bass. Yes.
And that was in like 78, 79. And then the band wasn't going too far. Randy got a call from a guy named
got a good gig,
Ozzy Osbourne, and said, "Come with me." And then they said, "Wait, we need a bass player. Do you know a bass player?"
He's like, yep.
Yep. And so Rudy stayed and played bass on both and toured with both through the 80s. And then Randy died.
Bass on Blizzard of Oz.
No, but he toured.
He did the tour, but Bob Daisley was the bass player on the Blizzard of Oz album.
Yeah. But then Randy died.
In plane crash.
And Rudy was the touring bass player, but wasn't the studio bass player.
Yes.
And I can tell you, for a 74-year-old guy, Rudy Sarzo is still a lunatic on the stage with his bass.
Cool. He was great.
Yeah.
Rudy Sarzo and who was the guy that played? I gotta look it up. He played with David Lee Roth on his solo stuff, but he was with a group out of Buffalo, I believe, or Western New York somewhere, named Alice, which I really liked, a metal band.
Rudy also went on to play bass for David Coverdale's Whitesnake during the popular years.
Yes.
Yeah. And just I spent 75% of the concert just watching Rudy Sarzo play his bass up on top of his head, behind his back.
Yeah. Billy Sheehan.
Yeah.
He was great too. Those were because they were just fun to watch. They were a lot of energy, a lot of spinning around that bass, that big bass guitar, and little solos. They were great.
And then in this concert, they did a really nice little tribute to Randy, where they played one of the very early Quiet Riot songs that Randy did.
Oh, Thunderbird?
I couldn't tell you what it was, but it sounded exactly like something that Randy would write. And then the guitar player went into a solo that, instead of doing solos, doing a solo of his own, he did a compilation of just some great rock riffs, including Crazy Train and Eruption. And
Crazy Train might be one of the greatest solos of all time. The guitar work on that song, it's an overplayed song. It gets neglected because it's so popular. But if you actually sit down and listen to that song, the guitar work on that song, the drum work on that song is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely amazing.
So we're going to go see Tracy Bird today, and it's a free concert included with our season passes. And
okay.
They've got a really good barbecue place at SeaWorld. It's a little expensive for what it is, but boy, the barbecue chicken is fantastic there. So we'll have that. Barbecue chicken and baked beans. And then we'll go to the concert, and I'll make sure that nobody's standing right near me.
Oh, there you go. There you have it.
And we'll go out to the Sea Lion and Seals and talk to them and watch them play and do stupid stuff.
Johnny O says, I recommend seeing Metallica on their current tour. Saw them at Soldier Field 2 weeks. Speaking of Randy Rhoads, the first time I saw Metallica live was the Diary of a Madman tour. They opened for Mr. Osborne and company. But yeah, Metallica's great. I remember the Black Tour. I think I saw that. I think they came to town 4 times. The best of those was at the old Civic Arena. It was just an evening with Metallica is what it was called, and it was just them. They were amazing to watch. They were supposed to for summer home in Rhode Island, my home state, Dave. It's America's smallest state. Yes, it is. Don't blink or you'll miss it.
To tell you how poor we were growing up in the early 80s before I was able to get a job.
Yes.
My parents would tell me that instead of spending $8 to $12 on a concert ticket and having to drive all the way to the concert or whatever, for that money, you could go to the record store and buy 2 records and have the records for the rest of your life.
Whoa.
I didn't go to a lot of concerts until I got my own car and got my own jobs.
Yeah. Treble said first time I saw Metallica was 1986. Bloody hell, that's a long time ago. So I was like, I was really young. I was like 11, 12 years old, something like that. And we saw Black Sabbath at the Civic Arena. Festival seating on the floor. It was the Mob Rules tour with Ronnie James Dio singing. That was my first concert. And this is, I mean, how different times are now. I live in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, and we took a bus into town, me and four of my friends. We bought tickets. We took a bus into town, walked around downtown a little bit, went over to Point State Park, and walked up to the arena and went to the concert. My dad picked us up afterwards, but yeah, that's how different things are. You know, can you imagine? Can you even imagine what would happen if somebody did that with their kids these days? Dr. Johnny Fever was famous in the 90s. I didn't see that the booger was in the chat. I was 13 and to just show I'm not ancient. Yes. It's hard. Getting old is hard. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone for coming on the stream. Let's see. Let me go back over to.
Oh shit.
We got 43 upvotes. If you haven't upvoted, we got some more yes votes because we're at 8%. Lucha sucks on the poll. I guess we'll end that there.
Oh no, we dropped to 7% on the final.
7% on the final.
Although the percentage only adds up to 99%. So
now there you go. We got one abstination. We got 43 upvotes. If you haven't hit the upvote, please hit the upvote. That is a metric that we use.
No, don't hit the upvote. He wants to kill the stream, so stop it. Who cares?
Or in the immortal words of, I don't know if I can scroll back down. Oh, here. We'll go back to Brian's favorites would be Muhammad Ali saying that we need the Luchabetic Sundays, and Thomas Burnett reminding everyone that I am doing the American Diabetes Association Step Out to Stop Diabetes Walk to help get some kids off the diabetes camp. And with there is a link pinned at the top. If you would like to donate, I would appreciate it more than you would ever know. It's the home team, and it's an important cause. So there's that part. And on that note, Brian, we are 3.5 hours into this.
We hope you've enjoyed the final Luchabetic Mark Sunday morning stream. Remember, don't tell your friends.
I love it. All right, guys, we're going to lucha our way on out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming by. See you guys.